Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Got a bad light source here. Oh, mercy. Trying to figure out a way to get that glare out of here. Sorry. Probably not the best light. I need to be more in the light. Hold on, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody in the chat. This is live number 2. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $McGangie 129 Shop. Stickers and chats always welcome during the live stream. Rebecca Maines testifies that Adam Montgomery was her best friend in 2021 and that he told her that Harmony reminded him of her mother, Crystal Sorey, and that he hated her. He also told her he brought Harmony to live with her mother, Maines said. Warning, some of the descriptions used during the trial might be disturbing for some viewers. Explicit language might also be heard. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you for joining me. You're now listening to the Vault XL. WMUR-TV is the source. This is Rebecca Maines, Maines, her alleged conversation from Adam Montgomery. And please check out my upload from earlier and my live from yesterday, where I discussed this situation. Did he harm the child because he did not like the child? She reminded him of Crystal. Although I felt like they did not have a serious relationship from what was told. So I kept trying to understand why he wouldn't care for the mother, that they really didn't have a relationship. And now you have testimony heard in court today. It's very interesting. Lord have mercy. The state has rested. We will see if the defense will put on a case of evidence and or have Mr. Adam Montgomery testify on his behalf, because his claim is that Kayla Montgomery is the suspect in Harmony's homicide. You're entitled to your opinion of the said events that allegedly transpired December 7th, 2019. Sorry, my light is very, very bad. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's get started. Thank you for joining me. Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Ms. Maines. If you would go right over to where the bailiff is, please, and watch your step on the cords.
Be careful of the cords, please.
And Ms. Maines, if you would remain standing and please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please feel free to have a seat. There's water there if you would like it at any point in time, okay? Ms. Maines, because we're being recorded here today, would you please state your full name and spell both your first name and your last name for the record?
Yeah, my name is Rebecca, Rebecca, and my last name is Maines, Maines.
And Ms. Maines, you reside in New Hampshire, correct?
I do.
How long have you been a New Hampshire resident?
49 years.
49 years. Currently, it's my understanding that you're staying at the New Hampshire State Prison for Women. Is that correct?
I am back on a parole violation, yes.
Okay. And what is your anticipated release date?
Oh, mercy. 1 second.
DraftKings, giving a bonus bet back if I lose so I don't have to sweat my back. Give me
With regards to previous convictions that you've had, it's my understanding you've had convictions for a series of theft by unauthorized means and one count of credit card fraud, all between 2016 and 2019. Is that correct?
That is correct.
During that time period between 2016 and 2019, what were you battling with?
I'm a heroin addict.
And how long have you been in recovery?
10 months today.
Congratulations on that. With regards to your work history prior to using heroin, what sort of jobs did you hold?
I was in the medical field.
And what did you do in the medical field?
I was a nurse.
Do you know a person by the name of Adam Montgomery?
I do.
Where did you first meet Adam Montgomery?
I met him in Manchester in 2022. We were both part of the sober community.
Sober community?
Correct.
I'm going to show you this Memorial States Exhibit 101. I see that you're nodding your head. Do you
That's
recognize
Adam.
this person?
It's Adam.
That's Adam Montgomery.
It is.
That, did you meet him back in 2021?
21, yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
How would you describe your relationship? How much did you spend time together?
Every day.
Every day.
I would have called him my best friend.
Did you have a car at that time?
I did.
And what kind of car was it?
It was a 2017 Ford Fusion.
And do you know whether the defendant had a car at that time?
He did not.
You said that you were best friends. Would you ever travel together?
We did.
Okay. And what town did you grow up in?
Portsmouth.
Did you ever take him to Portsmouth?
No, Hampton
Hampton.
was the furthest.
Okay. And what town did he grow up in?
I want to say Lynn, Massachusetts. I know it's down. It's Revere. I believe it's Revere. I know it's down in that area.
Did you ever talk with him about his children? How many children he has?
Yes.
What, if anything, did he ever tell you about how many children he had?
Well, I'm pretty sure I told you guys 5, but thinking about it, I know he had 4.
You know he had 4?
Correct.
And when you say you guys, are you referring to
When I
investigators?
spoke with the state, yes.
Okay.
With you and.
I'm about to say, this is not the first time you and I've met, is it?
Oh, it is not.
Okay. And where did we meet?
At the New Hampshire State Prison for Women.
And what did we talk about that day?
We talked about my statement.
Okay. And do you remember what you were told to do when you were testifying?
Yes.
Okay. What were the 3 rules of testifying that we talked about?
Speak loud, tell the truth. And I don't remember.
Okay.
Stare at you guys.
I say, does it sound like one of the other things was to make sure you use your own words and whatever your testimony
absolutely,
is?
Yes. Sorry.
All right. It's all right. At the time in 2021, did you ever talk with Adam Montgomery about a daughter named Harmony?
I did.
Where did he say she was living in 2021 when you talked with him?
He told me that he dropped her off to her mother in 2019 at a rest area.
What did he say about how often he was seeing her back in 2021?
He said
Thank
her
you,
mother
Mom.
would not allow him to see her and that he had been trying for some time.
What, if anything, did he say to you about her having any sort of toilet problems or bathroom issues before she went to live with her mother?
He said she was constantly wetting her pants or using the bathroom. He put her in the corner in her soiled pants. But that she would repeat it when she'd get in the car. She'd have an accident, but he said,
What is the truth to this information this lady is repeating in the court? Was this just Adam making up stories on the child because he was the cause of her using the restroom? Maybe she was using the restroom on herself, although we heard that she was potty trained by the foster mother and by Crystal Sorey. But is it possible that when the child went to stay with him, Kayla, and this family unit, that whatever was going on in the house negatively affected her bowels, bladder, to where she would soil herself out of fear, out of being afraid. Is this possible? Of course it's possible. So what's the truth? This man just saying this to make himself feel like what he's done to his child was okay. Naturally, he's not going to tell her or another stranger, yeah, by the way, I unalived my kid because I was just sick of dealing with her, blah, 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 I don't like her mother, whatever. I don't like the kid. So I got to tell people I sent her back because naturally they're going to want to know where's my kid. So I got to say I sent her back. But one, I'm not going to tell you I unalived her. Two, I'm not going to tell you she was soiling herself and I'm the reason why she was soiling herself. What's the truth? Thank you for joining me.
It was on purpose.
On purpose.
Yes,
That's what he said.
correct.
He said she was using the bathroom on purpose.
What did he say about why he decided to send Harmony back to her mother?
Wow.
Because she continually shit her pants. Sorry.
S-H-I-T her pants.
That's okay. Are those his words?
Yes.
Okay. Then those are his words. Remember, one of the things is to make sure that you always tell the truth.
This is horrible.
A moment ago to tell the truth.
Extreme bargains.
Sorry about that intermission. Allegations. The girl boo-booed in her pants. He told this lady she was doing it on purpose. Was she? Was she using the bathroom on purpose? Maybe.
With regards, again, to his words, did he ever tell you about a physical incident between himself and Harmony?
He did.
What did he say in his words that you recall?
So he told me that he was in the bathroom, or the kids were in the bathroom. I don't remember the but he was in the bathroom and he had walked out to find Harmony with her hands over the baby's mouth and nose, and that the baby was not breathing and turning blue, and he said he saw red and he just backhanded her.
Wow.
So he told you that he backhanded her.
Correct.
And when she was holding her hand over, you said the baby's mouth, did he tell you which baby, which of his other children?
You know what he did, but I don't remember. I want to say Declan, but I'm not.
So now we have another person telling us that Harmony put her hands over the baby's mouth. Some of you believe the child did this to shush the child from crying because the father has an attitude, a negative disposition. I don't know. I wasn't there. So he backhanded the kid. So we got now what? Number two. Two people to tell us this. 2 to 3 people telling us this. Because Kevin, I believe, repeated this. He's the one that called CPS. They got the ball rolling for them to investigate this family. Now we have this friend, Rebecca, to say the same. But we also know that people will lie to cover up guilty things they've done. So to make a story sound good, I'll repeat the same version to other people. Kind of like saying, well, I'll say it enough. I'll make myself believe it. So is this true? The child covered the mouth of the other child and he flipped out. So when did he first start putting his hands on the girl? Because I don't know if I'm understanding this was his first physical interaction with the child. So you don't know what to believe because you're dealing with drug addicts. She's a former drug addict. Have you noticed what I told you before? Everybody's on drugs in the story. They all hung with addicts. From the methadone clinic to other friendships, meetings, work, the shelter, whoever, they're all addicts. She's currently incarcerated in prison. Theft, whatever. He stole stuff. Everybody's evenly yoked. That's why you really can't be surprised at the ending of this child. And I'm not saying a person that steals would become a murderer. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that everybody so far has got a past, a bad past. They all got high. And we know that when you're getting high on dope, especially narcotics, you are liable to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Getting into stuff, you got to rob, steal to get the money, to get the high. God forbid you got an attitude problem, temperament problem, you are doomed. And anybody in your path, they are doomed. She was doomed. She and everybody else, they were doomed.
100% positive.
Don't want you to guess. So if you remember, you
Thank you,
remember.
Pinto.
If you don't, you don't. That's okay. Do you remember the name of the child that he was talking about?
Hey,
the baby?
Sassy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Declan.
Okay. And did he say where he was living when he hit Harmony in the mouth after seeing her cover this child's mouth?
Probably. Don't recall.
Don't recall. Okay. Did you say when it was? Specifically, when in the year? Spring, summer, fall,
it was right
winter?
before he returned Harmony to her mother.
Right before? Did he, let me ask you, did you ever give him a ride to Maine?
I did not give him a ride.
Okay, so you did not give him a ride to Maine.
No.
All right. Do you know what state he was living in at the end of 2021?
Yes, he was in Maine.
Okay. Do you know who he was living with?
He was living with Kelsey.
Did you ever meet Kelsey?
She, again, is one of my really good friends.
Okay. And what was Kelsey's last name?
Small.
Hey. Hey, everybody.
Finally, with regards to what the defendant stated to you about Harmony, what, if anything, did he ever say, or I'm sorry, who, if anyone, did he ever say Harmony reminded him of?
Her mother.
Her mother?
Her mother.
And did he tell you how that made him feel? God bless you.
He said he hated her. Right to his core.
Whew. Wait, that was an intermission. Sorry about that. They're having a meet sidebar. Oh, I hate this. They always got to meet when there's somebody repeating what somebody said. That's why I hate trials. They make me sick with this. Always got to. This is all they've done through this entire trial. Sidebar, sidebar, sidebar. It's just ridiculous. So he hated what? The mother? Oh, Lordy. Hated the child. Which is it? Both? They're talking right now. That's why you have a pause. Thank you for joining me. Very scary. Just imagine being a child that small and things aren't going right, where you're sleeping, where you're living, and you have no control over the situation. How scared she must have felt. I can't get out of the situation. I wish somebody rescue me. And then you have the social worker saying, he asked her, how did she feel about living there? Did she feel fearful? She told him no. So who knows? Naturally, a child would be afraid to tell you the truth. Even if Adam or Kayla or somebody wasn't in the room, she probably still would be afraid to say, yes, I'm scared of my father. Yes, I'm afraid of his wife. Yeah, I want out of here. And even when children are mistreated, they'll still want to be with their parent. People don't understand that. You know, a lot of people can't understand that. That's the whole point of being a child. Children are resilient. Children can put up with a lot of things that adults can't put up with. You know, children are bullied. They are talked bad to, down to. You know, their living conditions sometimes are horrible, but they still will find something to be happy about. They'll play with other children, even though they don't have food in the house or food in the refrigerator. Parents are nasty, house nasty. Kids are resilient. So, you know, maybe she was afraid to tell the social worker the truth. I don't know.
This means you stated a moment ago that the defendant indicated or said to you that he hated Harmony's mother. Is that correct?
No.
Oh, who did he hate? He hated Harmony.
Yes.
Another sidebar. Lord have mercy. She's saying he hated his child. Strong words to say about a child. As if she's doing something to him. He went and got her, mind you. Harmony didn't send for him. She's a kid. So you hate a child. Those are strong words to say about a child. I hate a child. I hate this child. I hate my child.
She reminded him of her mother.
Okay. She reminds him of the mother.
Her testimony isn't that he hated her mother. It's that he hated Harmony.
Correct.
Because she reminded him of
her mother.
Okay. Clarifying. Hate the child. Because she reminds him of Crystal.
And at that point, I have no further questions for Ms. Mason. I thank you very much for your time. I leave defense counsel to have.
Well, they had already passed kindergarten, honey. School had already started. She was still alive. He didn't care about school. He didn't care anything about school. If she went dead after September, August, most schools started August, September, he didn't enroll her for whatever reason. And then the state was still coming by, from my understanding, up until October. So they knew to put her in school. And that was also mentioned in the report too. The social worker, hold on, let me stop. The social worker was wondering why she was not in school. So see, the social worker didn't do his job. He may not have seen physical abuse, or he still knew the house was unkempt. He still should have removed those kids. But like a social worker told me here in Tennessee, we don't necessarily remove kids because the house ain't clean. But as you see, she's gone now. That's proven. She's gone. She's not alive. So somebody unalived the kid. Now you have this lady who claims to be his best friend saying, oh, he told me he hated the kid because she reminded him of Crystal. That's deep. A 5-year-old kid who's been living from place to place, house to house, 3 times removed from the mother, 3 times with the foster care lady, another foster home allegedly. You go get her, and now you hate her. So at what point did he start hating a little kid? Because he didn't have her a year. It's baffling. But this happens every day. Let's make that point. Children are hated by their parents every day. And it's usually similar to this BS here. They feel like the parent did something to them, which I don't understand because I don't think they had a relationship. I think the child came from sex. So I don't understand why he would hate Crystal. You hate her because what? She's like you. She's a spitting image of you, except she's a female. Is that right, Adam? You hate her to the mother because she is what you are. You got high, she got high. So if you want to hate Crystal, you should hate Kayla too, because Kayla is an addict. This woman speaking is an addict. All your friends are addicts. People in your house, addicts. You hate what you are. That's what this is about. Because sometimes we do this in life, do we not? We judge people according to the same things we've done. We don't like people because they're eerily similar to us. And we don't sometimes want to accept that. Because you hear people say that, oh, you two don't get along because you're just alike. Could be. Could be. But how can you hate a child who you're just starting to get to know, number one? Number two, how could you hate the mother? You didn't have a relationship with her. You were incarcerated when she was in the womb and born. She was born June 2014. He got out of prison in September of 2014. By the time he got out, she was already in foster care at 2 months old. So explain to us logically how you could hate a toddler, 5-year-old.
briefly just a few minutes ago, but again, I'm Jamie Brooks, and I represent Mr. Montgomery. I'm also going to be asking you some questions.
Okay.
And I want to begin by asking you about your criminal record, specifically your convictions between 2014 and 2019.
Okay.
You have 11 separate felony convictions.
Probably. I was a drug addict.
And along with that 11, you have 7 separate misdemeanor convictions, right, for
Probably.
credit card fraud.
Probably.
Specifically, just to dive into the details a bit, 2014, theft, Rockingham County, correct?
Correct. I'm going to agree with you on all these charges. I don't know that we need to go through all of them.
2016, theft,
I'm a criminal, sir. Yes.
Rockingham County.
Yeah.
2016, theft by deception, Rockingham County.
Ooh, Lordy.
If you say so. I am a criminal.
2016, 3 separate convictions for felony level theft out of Merrimack County.
If you say so. I don't have the documentation in front of me. I don't need it either.
Well,
I'm a
now.
criminal. I don't have a problem telling you that.
2017, theft.
Well, she said she's a criminal, so
2018, another theft, felony level out of Merrimack.
Yep.
2018, a theft.
let's go here. As I just said before he started reading off all these counts, a thief does not necessarily make a murderer, which I think most of us know this. Just like a sociopath and a psychopath does not make a murderer. You could be a psychopath and not be a murderer. Narcissist, not be a murderer. But a murderer is usually a narcissist, sociopath, and a psychopath. People steal every day does not mean they would go out here and unalive a person. I think we know this. So I don't know why he's going through all of this anyway. Because in the end, they all hung together. So the one thing they all had in common is that they were addicts. So that was their common bond. Most of the people who testified that knew Kayla and Adam and dealt with them, they were addicts themselves, some of the people who testified. So I don't know why he's going through all of this. Basically, I guess he's trying to say, why should these jury members believe her? She's got 14 or so, convictions on her record. Well, what we've learned about people is that whether they have sinned or not, they can still tell somewhat of the truth. You entitled to your opinion.
Out of Merrimack.
I believe it was all the same incident, correct?
Would you like to see the charges?
No.
With different docket numbers?
No. I'm telling you I'm a criminal. I don't know why that would make a difference.
And you also have 2 theft convictions out of Rockingham County in 2019.
Correct.
You indicated on direct examination that you were with Adam for a couple of months.
Yes.
Beginning around August of 2019?
Correct.
Or my apologies, August of 2021.
2021, I'm sorry, yes.
And you and Adam were together essentially every day?
Right up until I moved back to the seacoast.
You considered him a best friend?
I would have, yes.
He ended up moving to Maine to be with Kelsey Small, correct?
Well, he ended up going there, yes.
You were the one who introduced Adam and Kelsey in the first place?
49.
Was.
Go back a minute.
You released on parole in April?
Correct.
In a couple of months?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also fair to say that that is not the extent of your legal troubles, correct?
Correct.
You are presently facing 3 sets of charges out of 3 separate counties, correct?
Actually, it's 4.
There's a 4th?
Yes.
Well, she's honest. Ha! By deception. Oh my goodness. Take your pick. What you believe?
Let's start with Merrimack County.
None of these I've been convicted of, so they're none I would talk about.
These
I think I
are,
have the legal right to that.
I'm not going to ask you about the specifics, but I am going to ask you about the fact that you are in fact presently being charged with.
I'm not facing any more time, sir. I'm not doing any more time.
Well, let's talk about that. You're facing a Class B felony offense out of Merrimack County, correct?
I don't know if it's
Hello.
it's for possession of crack cocaine. I believe it's going to be a misdemeanor.
You have 2 counts of possession
I do.
out of Merrimack County, correct?
Do I? No, I don't believe so.
Oh my goodness.
Are you familiar with a document called a case summary?
Yes.
Would looking at that case summary
You're
assist
welcome.
you in knowing what you're charged with?
Yeah. I actually.
Oh Lord. Selena, thank you. It's older. Thank you. Thank you, Sunrise. Thank you. I thank you all for listening. Thank you. Thank you all, new subs, new viewers, and the 19,000 views today. Oh, wow. That almost brought water to my eyes. Thank you. I work hard to bring you the information. I try my best to, stay abreast. Some things, I may not keep up with every fine detail, but I always try to go double back on anything that's mentioned in the chat or anything I hear on another news broadcast to try to, keep you abreast of the information. So I think my hard work finally paid off today, and I'm eternally grateful. Thank you so much. WMUR TV is the source of this live stream, the audio from court, if you need to go back and watch it. And Court TV's done a segment. I was going to play that, but I want to play all of her commentary in case you all were curious. So what she said. He's handing her documents of her older or newer charges or something.
Okay.
Having reviewed that, does that help refresh your recollection?
No, I was only aware of 1.
But you are in fact facing 2.
Apparently you say so, yes.
And those are 2. I'll be happy to take that back unless you need to look at it again.
No, I don't need it. I don't have a problem telling you that.
So in Merrimack County alone, you are still presently facing 2 charges carrying a maximum penalty of 3.5 to 7 years in prison.
Yes.
Ooh, Lordy.
And there is a second court, correct?
Yes.
And that's Rockingham County Superior Court.
Yes.
And out of Rockingham County Superior Court, you're facing an A felony offense.
I am.
That carries a maximum
Thank you,
penalty
Dee.
itself of 7.5 to 15 years.
Yes.
Woo, wow.
You also have
7.5
a
years.
charge right here out of this very court, correct?
I do.
Itself a Class B felony.
Mhm.
Itself punishable by up to 3.5 to 7 years.
It is.
And you indicated that there's a 4th?
I'm correct. Out of Bedford, I have possession of crack cocaine.
She has a lot going on. Lord have mercy.
When did that charge come about?
I was arrested on August 12th of 2022.
Ooh,
That would also
father's
be a
birthday.
felony level offense?
It is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Acts prohibited or notes.
Well, she has no problem letting the court know she's a criminal.
And
So
even though you're scheduled for release in April on the sentence you're presently serving, those charges are all still pending.
They are still pending, yes.
And there is an additional problem as well, right? In each of those 3 cases, you failed to appear for court.
I did. And that's not a problem at all. I was in treatment, sir.
You were on the lam,
I was in treatment, sir.
absconded from your parole.
I was in treatment, sir.
Yet your parole did not know you were in treatment and a warrant was issued.
I believe I've answered that question. And they did know where I was. But thank you.
You would agree that
She said thank
to
you.
appear for court is itself also potentially a crime.
It is a crime, yes.
Bail jumping.
I was not charged with bail jumping, sir.
You haven't been charged with bail jumping yet since being arrested.
I was in treatment, sir, and I'm pretty sure that I verified that through the courts, and each of them know.
What a mess.
I want to
Get on with this, man.
change topics.
Damn.
My criminal record.
So hideous.
Adam fought for 4 years to get Harmony.
Adam fought for 4 years? I mean, if you say so.
You don't recall telling the police that?
I didn't tell the police he fought for 4 years.
Let's talk about.
Oh my
you
God.
indicated something about standing in a corner.
I did.
She would stand in a corner and poop. Is that something that you said?
I said that she used the bathroom in her pants and he put her in the corner.
Okay, so we're not talking about the car.
No, I'm not. I didn't say anything about the car.
Oh, this
Okay,
lawyer.
so
Get it
this
together.
is something that would occur when they were living in a home or an apartment or something.
Correct.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Jesus Christ. Get on with it. They make this stuff so winded. It doesn't even have to go on like this. All this reading her charges and stuff's ridiculous. We get it. She got high.
So, Ms. Maines, on direct examination, it was elicited that you have met with the state before, correct?
I did, yes.
And one of those times that you met with the state
Chew your
was
cough.
when you were in prison.
Yes,
And that was January 4th of 2023.
probably.
But it was another time that you were incarcerated. You since got out during
Yes,
some point of 2023, and now you're back.
correct.
Okay. You recall being interviewed by a Detective Dunleavy,
I was, yes.
and you were wanting to get out of your situation,
It's
correct?
crazy.
No,
You were in prison.
so
You wanted to
I'm not
stay in
there on
prison.
I don't know.
nothing you can do can help me with parole, sir.
Do you recall telling Detective Dunleavy that you wanted to have a recorded telephone conversation with Mr. Montgomery?
No, that I wanted to have a recorded conversation? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You never told Detective Dunleavy that.
No, I actually told him I wanted to see him in person.
Well, you did say that too. You wanted to go and visit Adam at Valley Street Jail, right?
I have been in contact with him while he has been incarcerated, sir.
At the time, Adam was at Valley Street Jail when you were at the Women's State Prison in January of 2023.
Correct.
And you told Detective Dunleavy, I would like to go and visit him at Valley Street.
I did. Adam was a really good friend of mine.
But you also told him that you couldn't do it by yourself, right?
I will never see Adam again because I'm a criminal, sir.
So what?
which means I
told
can't
him
get
to
into the
sit in his
jails
weapons
or the
first.
prisons.
He said he couldn't
You
wait.
told
Yeah.
Detective Dunleavy that you would like to go and visit Adam at the prison, but you needed their help to do so, right?
No. I needed their help? Absolutely not.
Being incarcerated, you would agree that you would not be able to get to Valley Street on your own, right?
Correct.
You would have to be released with the assistance of the police.
No, absolutely. I was on parole, sir. You don't get to be released just because the police said so.
You told the police that you had nothing to lose?
What?
Oh Lord.
I want to see that because I've never said that.
While we're on the topic, at the very end of the conversation with Detective Dunleavy,
Here we go.
Detective Dunleavy asked, is there any, do you have anything else for us? And your response was, I can tell you all about drugs, right?
No, absolutely not.
No doubt in your mind?
Well, she could tell you about drugs.
Sir.
She got high. She gets high. Come on.
Fair to say that you wanted
Actually,
to
I was there for
improve your
2
legal
reasons.
situation.
The second reason was a personal reason, but we never spoke. The drug issue was on a personal reason, but it had nothing to do with Adam, and it had nothing to do with. It had to do with a sexual assault.
It had nothing to do with Adam, but it still had something to do with possibly improving your legal situation.
It did not. Nothing will improve my legal situation but myself.
I have nothing further at this time.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, beat a dead horse. It's ridiculous.
With regards to your testimony here today, do you have any promises with the state about what's going to happen to your other charges based upon how you testified today?
Not at all.
Have you ever asked for any promises from the state in exchange for your testimony here today?
I have not.
You stated a moment ago on cross-examination that you said, I'm never going to be able to see him again. Can you please explain to the jury why, as somebody who's on parole or as a convicted felon, you're not going to be able to speak with him again? With somebody like him.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I could never go to Valley Street because I've been to Valley Street. I did some time there, and you are not allowed to go to a jail that you have been to. Secondly, the prison, you have to be 10 years with no arrests, no convictions, 10 years when you've been outside the prison. And at this time, I definitely can't say that I've done that.
Let me ask you also, you were asked about meeting with the state, and then you were asked about a meeting in January 4th of 2023. On your meeting recently with the state, on that meeting, did you meet with myself and Attorney Knowles?
I did.
Okay. And was that recent, just before this trial began?
It was, I think, 2, maybe 3 Fridays ago.
Maybe 3 Fridays ago. So we put it in January of 2024. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That is right.
And yet you were also asked about meeting with Detective Dunleavy. What year did that meeting take place?
Well, that was in 2022. And actually, I didn't even know he was coming. I was scheduled to meet with Manchester PD's sexual assault.
So that is a different matter, a different time, and a different meeting.
Correct.
So when counsel a moment ago said that you met with the state prior to trial, these are 2 different meetings with 2 different groups of people in 2 different agencies, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Finally, with regards to the criminal record that defense counsel went through, was the defendant aware of your criminal record?
Absolutely.
And you were still friends with him, right?
I was still friends with him.
He's a
I
criminal.
have not been charged with any new charges
Oh, come on.
in quite some time for myself. I've been clean and sober
Jeez.
and working on myself, which is what I plan to do when I get out. The same exact thing.
Understandable. With regards to also when you were asked about the
This is crazy.
defendant talking about this pooping incident, that Harmony would do this on purpose. I just want to clarify with regards to the timing. You were asked a moment ago whether that happened while Adam was in a car. Did the
We're on our
defendant?
way back from Medway, Massachusetts.
So that's what you meant by in the car,
Correct.
not that the incident occurred in the car.
Correct.
And correct me with regards to your testimony on direct. Didn't you say on direct that it was after these incidents and this backhand incident, that's when he decided to bring her back to her mother?
It was I was told in the time of Thanksgiving 2019.
Thanksgiving 2019.
Correct.
Okay.
He put her in the car and met her mother.
And who was it that told you that?
Adam Montgomery.
Thank you. No further questions.
Let me stop right there. This is why I said we don't really know when she was unalived. Kayla says December 7th. Adam says December 6th, 2019. Now you have this lady saying, he told me I took her back to her mom in November of 2019. That's possibly when he unalived her. Because that's the method to the madness. He's telling all these people, I took her back, I took her back, I took her back. But they stay on drugs. They may not know what month they unalived her. Somebody says they haven't seen her since October 2019. So I don't know what's the truth. But the dried blood on her face comment by Kayla kind of threw me off yesterday because she said, well, I was touching her trying to see if she was alive, check her pulse, woo, woo, woo. We realized, she was unalive and she had dried blood on her face. So you could deduct she had dry blood on her face because he's punched her so many times and she sat up under the cover unalive, or what? She had blood from days ago because she mentioned that as well. She said, oh, I was wondering if the dry blood was from him punching her in her nose days ago. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So who's to say how long she's actually been deceased back there in that car? Because if they're bold enough to carry a corpse around for 3 months, listen to me carefully. You are brazen and psycho up here to carry a dead person around for 3 months. You could just as easily ride around with a dead person in your car for 3 weeks, a month. What's the difference? In the trunk, in the back seat. It's the same. What's the difference? There's no difference. They carried their body around, place to place, place to place, place to place. So we don't really know when she was unalive. And I won't doubt she was back in the back seat, sitting with her, sitting under the covers dead. Because Kayla probably don't remember when that girl was murdered. And the fact that she would even bring that up is even more crazy, which shows he had been beating the baby up. Oh, her face had dried blood. I was wondering if it was from days ago when he hit her in the nose. Huh? So you're punching her in the nose. She lives, allegedly. Now you're punching her in her face. What the hell? A 5-year-old can't fight, do nothing. I'm just sitting here trying to, oh man, I can't put it together. I can't put this together. Let's finish this. Got a couple more minutes.
Questions at this time, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Maines.
Thank you.
Man, this is bad. Yeah, she's loyal to her daughter. She probably didn't see her Thanksgiving. That's what I talked about yesterday during the live stream yesterday. The mother's probably lying, the mother-in-law. Because we really don't know when the girl was unalive. We don't know that the mother-in-law saw her Thanksgiving. We don't know anything. And if they're sick enough to carry a dead girl around, she could have been dead before December. That's how I look at it. Just keeping it real. They're doing a sidebar right now with the lawyer, with the judge. It's truly sad because it's one thing to hate a person for no reason and they're 5. You hate the mother because what? She's just like you. So you hate yourself is what you're saying. I hate myself because I'm an addict. I picked another addict to make children with. I got another addict, my older daughter, Harmony. He hates them because he is them. That's self-loathing. You're loathing what you are. And I think many of us have done it. Maybe not being drug addicts, but we didn't like people who were similar to how we act and behave. In your mind, you can say, well, how can a thief hate a thief? Easily. Okay? A murderer can hate a murderer. A thief can hate a thief. A liar can hate a liar. It is what it is. But this lady was honest, I guess, to the best of her ability. She's only repeating what was told to her. Does she know any more about the daughter being unalived, the actual date, time? I don't know. I can't see him telling anybody else, but anything's possible. We do hear of killers pillow talking with people and telling what they've done. And we've heard it 1,000 times. Oh, yeah, we already knew that he killed him or her, but ain't nobody getting ready to go tell the police because they don't want to go to court and they don't want to testify. And they don't want to go on a witness protection program. They don't want people stalking them, hurting them, threatening them. So they just play possum and act like they never heard it. So it is what it is. You entitled to believe her testimony or not? I don't understand why they didn't press these witnesses more on that stand. What do you mean, Jenny? What witnesses? I think a lot of the testimony was left open-ended. The foster mother, the state should have grilled her. The defense should have grilled the foster mother. You all should have asked that lady, why did you send Harmony back to the state? You know, I don't like stuff that's open-ended because this is where gossip comes from and everybody's assuming what happened. We don't really know anything because you can't believe the family, you can't believe the suspects, and you can't believe the social worker who you got. So you just got to wade through this muck and try to put it together. But honestly, there's no sane reason to kill a kid. You don't like the mother. You didn't have nothing with her. You two had sex. She got pregnant. That's it. That's what I think happened. Because that's the way it's been portrayed. They didn't really have a healthy relationship. They didn't live together. They asked her on the witness stand, did you live with Adam? She said no. So it sounded like it was just sex and she got pregnant. So I'm trying to understand, he hates the child. You hate the mother. Obviously, you hate the mother too because she's just like her. So that means you hate the mother. Hate her for what? Oh, she's disabled. Somebody in the chat says. Well, hey, both of you wore glasses. Go figure. For all we know, the mother could have had an infection in her body, anything that caused the blindness, and, you know, some of the blindness in the girl's eyes, whatever. You know, syphilis can cause blindness in babies. Did y'all not know that? Al Capone died of syphilis. When syphilis goes untreated, it can cause blindness. A lot of people don't know that. So maybe the lady had venereal diseases and she didn't get herself treated. And I think herpes causes it too. You have to be careful when you're carrying children and you are sleeping around. You're not going to the doctor. You're not getting checkups. You can pass things on to your children when you drink, you use drugs, you have venereal diseases. For all we know, this could be something from a venereal disease. You know, I'm not trying to, say this is what causes the girl eye trouble, but that is one of the things that causes eye trouble is your girlfriend ain't clean. Just saying. You know, you're not going to the doctor to get checked. I can't stand my kid's dad, but I ain't going to hurt my kids because, behind his dumb actions and what he did to me, it ain't the kid's fault. They didn't ask to come in this world. Okay. Somebody said, what? Adam's lawyer woke up today. What Adams? Oh, well, he's picked and choose who he wants to talk crazy to. Because a lot of those people had criminal records that testified. You know, Middleton, the one that rented the van, he was incarcerated while testifying. They didn't grill him like that, so I don't know what the hell the problem is. Yeah, they want to grill her. Why? She's no different than the other people that allegedly talked to Adam and that Adam gave the same BS story that he took the daughter to the mother. He's got to keep the lie going. That's what pathological liars do. They either keep the story going or they change it to this person. Or they go over to this person and give a version. Still buffering. I don't know what they're talking about. Got to check out that Court TV.
Want to be there for those we love.
Ooh, sorry about that. Got to check out that Court TV. I really want to play that. But I wanted everyone to hear her complete testimony uninterrupted. Because Court TV wouldn't have played all of it verbatim. And they're still sidebarring right now. WMUR TV is the source if you're curious. Jenny says, agree. The open-ended stuff with Travis, Kayla, Mom, Capone, Tabitha. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you don't leave stuff open. So we're still sitting there like, well, what happened? The foster mother, that was the perfect time for both sides to ask her what happened with Harmony the last time you had her and why you sent her back to the state. You just left it open. It's hard to co-parent with CPS and a traumatic child. And then that was the end of the conversation. So I was like, okay, you're not going to ask her why it was hard for her to co-parent with the state and the daughter, the foster daughter was doing what? Was Harmony acting out? Was she crying? Was she pooping? Was she peeing? Was she throwing tantrums? Was she quiet? You all said she was outgoing. Well, did she change? Just tell us the truth. Now we got to sit here and wonder. BS. But I kept quiet and they see how he really is now. Well, exactly. Children learn how to figure out their parents down the road. That's why they tell you never talk bad about your ex-spouses, boyfriend, girlfriends to your children. You don't want to tarnish the image, even if they are really a rascal, you know, because children will love their jacked up parents regardless. I don't know why they got the audio. They don't even have the sound up on this. I don't know what they're talking about. This is a weird trial. I've never seen a trial that has this many sidebars. Every time somebody testifies, they got to go run up and talk to each other and huddle like it's you know, like a football. This is nothing but a football game. Where's AB at? Where do you see AB at? AB's in the chat. I didn't see. Where is he? I missed it. Hello, darling. Yeah, this is the football game. They've huddled. I don't know how many times. So my question is he going to testify? And will the defense put on evidence? I don't think they have anything to put on. What are you going to say? Who are you going to get up here and speak on his behalf? Nobody. And I sure would like to know that crazy lady that testified last week. She's crazy as the Dickens, the one that didn't want to testify and started crying and stuff. I thought, who is this nut job? You're probably still living the life, and that's the reason why you didn't want to testify, because you're still in the street, you're still getting high, you're still pilfering drugs, and you didn't want people to know you as a snitch, and that's why you didn't want to testify last week. Nobody gives a damn. You want to go back out here and chase meth and heroin? That's your damn business. I could care less. I'm serious, because she just put on a show before court last week. You know, oh, I want to show me on camera. Don't show me. They already showed you walking into court, you dizzy broad. This is dizzy. Dizzy broad.
So, Ms. Maines, I do want to clarify. It's your testimony that
Oh, God.
when you met with Detective Dunleavy January of last year, 2023, you were not trying to offer new ways to try and get information from Adam so as to improve your situation and get out of prison?
I was on a parole violation, sir. I got all of my time suspended. I didn't need your help to get out. All of my time was suspended upon entry into a program.
Well, there you have it.
At the time that you had this this interview with Detective Dunleavy,
God.
there was your parole situation, but you were facing the very same 3 charges that you're facing now, correct?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and we don't need to rehash them all again, but it was the Merrimack
Actually, it was
charge.
4. But
That's right, out of Bedford.
correct.
Okay, so those charges were all still
Sorry,
pending
I
then.
just want to be honest. They are still pending. They were still pending then.
Okay, and again, what you're saying is that Adam told you that he had backhanded Harmony after she had her hand over, you think, Declan's mouth.
He did, yes.
And
Hey,
this was
Laura.
around Thanksgiving.
No, he returned her to her mother around Thanksgiving of 2019.
And that's what prompted her to do so, or him to do so.
It was an incident that we had spoken about coming home from Medway, yes.
That's okay, everybody.
And that's what prompted him to
Lord.
send her back to her mother.
This lawyer is dizzy.
Correct. He said that he just wanted to make sure that she had the proper care.
Oh. Well, she got proper care, all right.
All right, ma'am, you are excused. Any objection to her being excused?
Woo, Jesus wept.
Please be careful of the wires. State may call its next witness.
That's the end of that, everybody. That's Rebecca Main's testimony earlier in court. The state has rested. She is currently incarcerated on numerous charges of theft. She claims that she is not, a saint. I'm a criminal, I admit it. But the defense is basically trying to say, you were trying to get something from authorities so you could get out of your charges. And she said, well, I'd already settled everything. So there was nothing that you all could do for me as far as getting information from Adam. I don't know if that's true or not. She's still incarcerated, so there you have it. She likes to steal. So it is what it is. Little man syndrome. Yeah, I noticed how small he is, and whatever her name is, Carolyn or whatever, the state's attorney, he's a tall guy. He's a very tall guy. This is a fine mess because you don't know who to believe. You know in your right mind the child's not here. We can at least say that. Harmony is not alive. How many people knew she was being abused? How many people stood by and didn't do anything? Social worker failed her. Mother failed her. Father failed her. Kayla failed her. What is the time of death? That's all you got left here. An accurate time of death and method. Did he beat the child up? Had he been beating the child up regular or sporadically? What happened to her? She was potty trained. Let me call this. AB, can you talk or no? She was fully potty trained when she got to the father's house. The foster mother said she was potty trained, and Crystal said she was potty trained. So why she's using the bathroom at Adam's house, I don't know. Lord, Lord, Lordy. Oh, not now. Okay, that's fine. Welcome, AB. Wow. It's a lot to digest, is it not? So that's going to be the poll I'm going to put up pertaining to the disability of the child. Did he have hatred because the child had vision troubles? I'm going to go to my community page and read some of the answers from the polls I put up earlier. Thank you for joining me. Lord have mercy. Well, my thing is, it's a lot of work taking care of a disabled adult or child. We know this from listening to people spin their stories of what it's like, especially if you don't have any help. But there's still places for disabled children and disabled adults, just like the elderly. It's all the same, nursing homes, facilities. So there's no need of you beating up your elderly kid or your elderly mother or disabled kid. They have places. They have places, okay? As most of you know, I've worked with disabled men. I've worked in a disabled men's group home. I've worked in a halfway house for men. I've worked in a juvenile home for girls, juvenile home for boys, and disabled adults mixed in one house. So Queen has done it all. So common sense should tell you, how do you think those disabled adults got in that group home? Because somebody decided they didn't want to take care of them. That's where Queen came in. Okay? Many people are put in homes that are disabled, whether they're children or they're adults. There are a lot of them. So he didn't want his child. He should have called Crystal and told her, hey, this is not working out. Or he should have called the state, Massachusetts, have the girl picked up. AB said, what? I don't believe their admission. Who you don't believe? Who is it that you don't believe? All right, everybody. Movie of the week, Karen, 2021 movie, but that's my movie of the week recommendation. White lady stalking this African-American family, doing devious deeds in the neighborhood. That's my movie of the week. All right. 3 hours ago, Hildebrandt Ruby Frankie. Jodi Hildebrandt was sentenced today. Was her statement genuine, remorseful? 0% yes, 92% no, 8% not sure. Ruby Frankie was sentenced today. Do you believe her statement was genuine? 5% yes, 90% no, 5% not sure. Adam Montgomery's friend testified that he did not like Harmony because of Crystal. Do you believe this is why he abused and unalived her? Yes, 84%. 10% no, not sure. 6%. One person commented. Selena Dixon says, who's in the chat, yes, because lots of people take SHIT out on their kids and use them as a weapon against the other parent. Okay. Will Adam Montgomery testify? 3% yes, 92% no, 4% not sure. Please check out the live from earlier. It's a two-part live pertaining to Hildebrandt, Ruby. They got sentenced 4 counts of 1 year to 15 years in a penitentiary. They read their statements. I don't believe none of it. And then the second part of that live is pertaining to Adam Montgomery. The state has rested. We will wait to see what happens tomorrow in court. Hello, Jeannie. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. I'd have more subscribers had they not unsubscribed 2 years ago. You know, these people get crunk when we talk about the Summer Wells case. So they don't like something you say, they will unsubscribe, let me tell you. They will definitely do it. I was hoping to talk to AB, but he's putting the baby to bed, so. Oh, he said what? He waived it when he waived his right to show up. Oh, yes, yeah. But why not show up? Because he told the judge, I look forward to going to court to refute the allegations. So why not show up? You already throwing Kayla under the bus that she unalived the child. So why not go to court and say, hey, this is what happened. I lied about telling people that I took her to see Crystal, dropped her off. That's a lie. I left my daughter along with Kayla. And when I came back, Kayla told me she unalived my child. And then go on from there. But he knows he can't spin the story. That's why he's not going to testify. Say what? Because they would throw the one story. Okay. Oh, for the jury. Adam can't. What do you mean he can't testify? Well, I thought the reports that I was getting is that he could testify. I don't know. I thought he could testify. It's a combined effort, Queen. Only AB does that, Queen. To minimize their wrongdoing. Yeah. That's the reason why he kept telling everybody, I took her to Crystal. I took her to Crystal. He knew he never took her there. He couldn't tell all these different people where she was. He'd go ahead and just throw that out in case you start asking, hey, where's your daughter? Where's your daughter? How's your daughter? I'll just go ahead and tell you, oh, yeah, I took her to Crystal. I couldn't handle her. Oh, she was using the bathroom on herself. Yeah. She was probably using the bathroom on herself because her father was crazy, stepmother crazy. She's fearful of you, so she's urinating on herself. She's defecating on herself. She's scared to tell you, hey, I got to go potty. That's expected. Lord have mercy. What a mess. What a mess. Hold on, you guys. Let me see something here. Somebody said sexual abuse. I thought about that. I thought about that too with the sores around her mouth. That's called impetigo or something. Something, staph infection, strep. So what caused the sores around her mouth? Filthiness, nastiness. Social worker says they were fed, they were clothed. So how is she getting the sores around her mouth? That's not good. We'll never know the truth. We'll never know the truth about what happened. Jersey Devil. Wanted her for her check for his drugs. Yeah. Well. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Can you talk?
Yes, I can.
All right. Run with it.
Spunky lady today.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's her right. You're talking about her, so you're putting her business out there.
I tend to believe what she said that Adam told her. So that means somewhere between August and November, before Thanksgiving, Harmony had passed.
So you're saying before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, because the car thing with the getting her in that bag in the middle of the road while the car is dead, somebody was going to see, but nobody saw anything anyways before that.
Well, but guess what? But what did I tell you about that? You could put that bag down in the floor and then roll her into the bag. Nobody would know what you're doing with a bag down in the floorboard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there had to be cars passing on either side.
Yeah, but I can't see what you're doing when you're humped over towards your back seat, girl. Think about it.
I get that.
Especially because we don't even know if that was a 2-door car or a 4-door car. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm. Well, if it was before the Pontiac, which we know it was before the Pontiac because that was a different time. It's a small little car, and if you're in a bigger car, you can see everything.
That's why I said maybe it was a 2-door Sebring. And if I'm driving by minding my business, because we have seen this. Shit goes on all the time and nobody sees a damn thing. And usually, let's be truthful, when somebody is unalive or transported, there's never an eyewitness, if you've noticed. Whether it's broad daylight or 2 a.m. in the morning.
And then here's another thing. You can't tell me that no one kind of rolled down their window, tried to pay attention or rubberneck and say, hey, do you need us to call someone? Do you need
That's why I couldn't see doing it for that very reason right there. Anybody pulling up, the police pulling up, hey, you need some help? Hey, what's going on? You got a dead kid in the back seat? That's just risky as hell. That's risky as hell.
She was gone before that.
Yeah. I think they killed her when they saw he kept coming back, the social worker. Because, he spins the story allegedly to people that, he was done, he was closing the case, but we don't really know what was closed and wasn't closed. I just read he was popping up.
There was a case a while back with a caseworker that was falsifying reports.
Well,
I'm not saying that's what happened.
Well, but see, it doesn't make sense because if, let's just say Adam thought it was over with by October, well, then why are you calling him in January? So he told the court last week, I got another report. Of what? So they left that open-ended in court.
Yes, that's why
it's bullshit, man.
A lot of caseworkers won't go out to visit, but they report on paper that they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that recently. Yeah. And another thing that was strange is reading the affidavits and everything last night. You say you were about to close the case, but yet you still put in the report, these kids are high risk. That makes no sense.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had, Department of Social Services called on me for fraudulent reasons, but
what?
They will, yes, they will call in and check on, and stop by when they feel the need to.
Well, may I ask you why somebody called DHS on you?
It was a guy I was dating. It was his son.
I don't understand what you're saying. Somebody said you were what, abusing his child?
That I was, my daughter was running across the street to their house, beating on the door at midnight, begging for food.
Wait. Your boyfriend lived across the street from you?
No. Me and my boyfriend lived together.
Oh,
His
okay.
son lived across the street.
I'm confused.
Me
Hagen?
and my significant other lived in a house with my daughter. His son lived across the street. His son claimed that my daughter was running across the street to his house, beating on the door at midnight, begging for food.
I got it. I'm there. Trying to get some.
My daughter couldn't even unlock the door then. She was tiny.
Well, how old was she?
She was 3.
Was this an older man you were dating?
Yes.
Wow. Well, have you had any more calls since then pertaining to that?
No, because the caseworker came out, and at the time I was a foster parent.
So that wasn't really your daughter?
Oh, no. I had other kids.
I'm trying to stay on
That weren't
page.
mine.
Did you have any other calls about the other children, Hagen?
No more calls, because actually the caseworker that I was fostering with came out and told me to sign the paper because she knew who I was and not to worry about it, and she closed the case.
Well, why did he lie? Allegedly lie.
I don't know.
He didn't want you with his father?
Apparently not.
Okay. Wow. Ooh, say
People do some crazy things.
Yeah, I know people will call and make up stuff. It's no different than people call your job, lie, try to get you fired. And, people do a lot of wicked things and make up things. And, you can. But my thing is, if it's no truth to it, if it's thoroughly investigated, they should know that it's a lie. But then we look at this situation. He signed off on the children were healthy because I read the reports last night.
Yeah, but see, normally when people come to you with a problem, they want records of the kids going to the doctors.
Well, he bypassed all that with the school. He did mention that to Adam. Why wasn't she in school? And he said something about I couldn't get her records. They wouldn't accept the records or some explanation I read. But see, that's the social worker's fault because he should have doubled back and said, well, I'm giving you until 2 weeks to get her in school or we're going to have a problem. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, she wore glasses and she had other issues with eyes and all that. My daughter goes to get checked for her eyes once a year, sometimes twice a year, depending upon the problems.
Mm-hmm. Well.
And she had that little lazy eye thing going on or something going on. And so she had glasses. And that's the other thing. I don't believe she had glasses when she was with Adam because Adam never took her to the doctor.
Well, she's got glasses on in the picture. So what the hell are you trying to say? Where the glasses at then, girl?
Well, what I'm saying is after he hit her so many times.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I agree with that. They probably broke a long time ago.
Yeah.
See,
he never took her to the
and then you got to ask yourself this. When did he first start? Because he got her in February of 2019. When was the first blow to the baby? Because he likes punching people. He likes punching people. So the glasses probably would have got broke time 1.
I figure it was shortly after he got her.
Well, probably. Mm-hmm.
Because to him, she was a problem, but to him, she was a check.
Well, yeah, well, the one thing I don't understand about that, they live in 2 separate states. Why go through all that trouble just to get some extra food stamps and a check? And they've changed the bylaws about getting welfare checks. You're able-bodied and can work, but you're not going to keep getting a welfare check. I've told people that 1,000 times. It's not like what people think. Those days are gone. You cannot sit and get a welfare check for a kid. You can get the stamps, but not the check. No.
But a lot of times, if you end up taking a child from another person, you get I don't know if they call it a subsidy or a stipend or.
Mm-hmm. But that's your child, so why would I give you a stipend to take care of your kid? That's your
that
kid.
is true, but they would still give her food stamps, which
Yeah.
they could sell.
Well, they did. $1,000 plus she got a month.
Yeah.
I think it was $1,050, something like that.
She probably got some kind of disability check.
Now that's true. Now he could apply for disability, but these two don't even strike me as the type that would even follow up with the paperwork to do stuff. Well, they're too busy trying to go get high.
She was in foster care. While she was in foster care, they would have had to sign her up for something.
I don't know.
Because that way, if she got a disability check, then the state wouldn't have to pay.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you're still forgetting. You're still talking about two addicts, and did they have the fortitude to go through that? You still got to go do the work. The state's not going to do any work for you. You got to get your lazy ass up and go down to these places and apply, sit in line, all that. Those two don't strike me as that type to want to even follow through with anything. I'm just saying.
Well, we know that, in the case of the West boys, that's the only reason they had those kids was for the money.
Well, yeah. Wow. Lord.
What really gets me is if Adam was hurting.
Kung Fu says, well, she's already receiving it, transfers to the current guardian. Well, I guess. I'm just saying, those two just seem lazy to me.
About this is if he was hurting Harmony, why wasn't he hurting the other two?
He probably was. They're not going to talk about that. Nobody's going to talk about that. She's not going to talk about that. I don't even know if that was even asked during testimony. Did he hurt your other two children, Kayla? Does anybody know in the chat if that was asked during testimony?
From what I've seen, I don't see them ask anything about Seamus or the two boys.
They should have asked. That's pertinent. That would let us know if it was favoritism or not.
Exactly. And we all know that once Harmony was gone, if he was beating on Kayla, and I believe he was.
Yeah, I believe that.
But that's no excuse for what she did. The abuse was going to get worse because now he,
because he's scared, because he doesn't know what she's doing. He thinks she's telling. That's why he started beating on her. I won't doubt he was beating on her before all this, before the girl died.
Yeah, but I'd say it was worse after Harmony was gone.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because he's paranoid. He's getting high, and drugs make you paranoid too. And he's turning down the light fixtures. We have two people to testify to that. That was deep to hear two people say that. I thought, wow, that was deep.
Yes, I was dumbfounded when the maintenance man was talking about that. I was like, oh my God, that got real.
But this is what I want to know. Why did they move out of the apartment? Nobody has said why. Kayla, did she tell the state why they moved out of the apartment?
I didn't hear her say why.
See, there's too much open-ended. There's too much open-endedness. What's the reason? The girl's been dead. So what? The baby's been dead.
The reason for them moving out of the apartment was, one, they didn't pay the rent, or two, they were evicted for damages. And they were terrible neighbors.
Because he probably went back and told what the apartment looked like from doing that tub drain.
Yeah, like after so many times, that maintenance man, the owner of the apartment's going to be like, nah, we ain't doing this.
So let's ask that question. Did the maintenance man go back and tell the landlord what the apartment looked like?
He had to, because he probably has to go and talk to the owner to get the funds to fix the apartment.
Well, they didn't ask her. Why did you not ask her about why did you move out of the apartment? Did you pack up stuff to move in that van that you got that Middleton guy to rent for you? I didn't hear none of that.
Did you see the part where they tracked the van across that bridge?
Yeah, I heard about that. Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh Lord, oh Lord.
So that's why they checked some type of what you call it? Not a ravine, but a something.
It was all along the bridge, the marsh.
Yeah, wherever the water is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because he probably dumped her in the water, and this some guy on one of the news programs says, I believe that's where she's at. She's in water. Yeah.
Well, if she's not in a container of some sort,
she's not going to be in no container. She wouldn't be in no container. He probably just dumped the whole whatever mesh or mush that she was left and just dumped it in the water. Just go stand by the water and dump it in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be stupid enough to dump her in no container because the container can float back up.
Yeah. Well, I'm even talking like, a canvas bag or anything like that.
Yeah. But it would make more sense to dump her out as however he dissolved her. Your best bet is to dump her like that. I wouldn't dump her in no tub, no suitcase, because if that's the case, they could have been done that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've had ample enough time to dump her in a bag, in a travel bag. He knew not to do that.
Well, and then here's the other thing. It's been so long by the time that they actually went to go look for her. Did they really think they were going to find anything?
So what now?
Like, okay, if she
Angeline.
was dumped off that bridge in that body of water or the marsh, did they really think that she'd been gone for 2 years before anyone realized she was gone?
Yeah, but you got to always remember, Hagen, we don't know how she died as an investigator. We only know what this Dizzy Broads told us. So we don't know if we're going to find her just skeletal, part dissolved, part head, leg, arm. We don't know because we really don't know how much of her, was dissolved. I do believe, though, that the reason they had to go, the maintenance man had to go check the tub is because he did buy lime, as she said, in a bag, and he dissolved her partially and was trying to get that rest of her down that damn drain and it backed up. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine
Wow.
myself doing it or seeing it done, but yeah.
Oh,
At
man.
this point, I can the way the world is, anything can happen.
Mhm.
That's why they took the pipes out of the house and started washing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So filter it out. Yeah. See what comes down.
Yeah, with the power washer.
What did they say? What did they say? What did they say that they found anything in the pipes?
No, they didn't say that they found anything, but they had people on standby just in case they were looking and sorting through things to see if there were any.
Well, he did something in that bathtub. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have bought that lime for nothing.
Well, that's why I believe some of what Kayla says is true, but I don't believe it's all true. And then her timeline doesn't set right.
So where are you going?
Well, like I said, I still think that
Sorry about my
Harmony
life.
was packed up somewhere before the car died. She could have been in the trunk of the car, but she was already packed.
I'm gonna tell you what I think. They've been carrying her around in the damn trunk. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's been dead a while. She's been dead a while in whatever bag, and they've been carrying her around because just like I said, if you can carry her around for 3 months, you could carry her around for 1 more month. See where I'm going? Exactly.
That's why I say from the time
Wow.
the caseworker seen her until before Thanksgiving, they had 4 months.
Well,
because I don't believe anyone has said that they seen her between.
Jenny said, I wish somebody asked the maintenance man about did he smell anything unusual. Exactly. I didn't hear that mentioned either.
No, he didn't say anything like that. He said the weird things were where the light fixtures were down.
Yeah. And the girl who was at the shelter, and the girl from the shelter said the same thing, that the light fixture was down, but she did say the apartment was a mess. So both of them should have been asked, did you smell an odd smell in the apartment? What is wrong with these defense attorneys? I mean, and the state attorneys, you don't know how to ask people questions. Did you smell anything? That's the first thing I would ask because the dead baby's been everywhere.
Exactly. That's why I don't understand how they got away with cars.
Because if she smelled, let's be truthful, if she smelled in the shelter, she would have smelled in the car, she would have smelled in the apartment. So why nobody asked the girl or the maintenance man, did you smell something as death or a strange smell that was unknown to you?
And not only that, with her in a canvas bag, she's gonna leak.
She leaked already.
Exactly, in the ceiling of the shelter. So we know she was leaking before that.
Wow.
That stuff is not easy to clean up.
That's why he didn't
And
clean it up there.
Odor.
That's how stupid he was. He didn't even think to get no bleach and clean the damn thing up there in the vent.
Well, thank God the maintenance man didn't, because the police were able to get all that. But
Delene says,
how they carted her around like that.
Yeah, Delene says, I think they were carrying her around since they were evicted, in my opinion. Right. So Delene, allegedly they got evicted end of November. But we don't know if she died in November or December. It does, to me, who's to say they were still living at the house and had a dead kid sitting around the house? So you don't know. Because somebody says they didn't see her since October. I'd like to know who that person is. I read that somewhere.
Well, wasn't it October? No, August was the last time the caseworker seen her.
Right. Yvonne's talking about Casey Anthony in the car. Exactly. Didn't hear nothing about the car smelling either when Mr. Badero was over there fumbling around with them. And somebody should have asked him. Very good point. Mr. Badero, did your car smell like death?
Well, and that's the other thing. Wouldn't the Mr. Badero know how many, look, you went from 3 kids to 2? And they were using his bathroom and everything else. So,
but we don't know if they were using his house, how long, because we're getting a discrepancy about that. Kayla says they were there for weeks. Wait, just wait 1 second. She said we were there for weeks. He says they were only in the car 2 nights, 2 days. So somebody's not telling the truth.
Somewhere it was said that they used the bathroom while they were staying in his car.
Okay. But I'm still saying there's a discrepancy about how long they were staying in the parking lot in their car, and also, I guess, versus his car. So maybe Caleb meant we stayed for weeks in our car, but then when he went and helped us, we were only in his car for 2 nights. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's 2 days and 2 nights. You're going to see a discrepancy. You cannot miss 3 kids.
Well, I guess nobody asked that question too. Or if they did, I don't remember. Did they ask Mr. Badero how many children he saw? Oh, he did ask, because they was going back and forth. Yeah, it was asked about them waving at him. He said they loved him, all that. And he did say he didn't see Harmony. Yes, he did. Yeah, I remember.
And then the car accidents.
Delene, we don't know why they were evicted. That's what we're discussing now. We don't know. And we don't understand why the state didn't ask her, or why the defense didn't ask Kayla, well, why did you all get evicted? Why did you all move out? You just got in the apartment February of 2020. Why would you be moving out the 1st of March? That's strange.
Yeah, because here's the other thing. It would take at least 30 days to get them out.
Exactly, by law. And then 2, was she on a voucher? Because usually people coming out of shelter, they didn't work. So that means she had to have some type of public assistance. Because they did not have a job when they came from the shelter. He had a job, but remember, he only worked that 2 months. So by the time they got to the apartment, he probably didn't have no job. Because I remember they asked him that.
At the pizza place?
Listen, they asked him in court, or asked her in court about the job. She said he'd only been there 2 months. He only worked the pie place 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way he was working there, I would assume, when they got the apartment. Because you got to remember, they got the apartment in February. They had already then unloaded the kid and been at the shelter a few months.
Yeah, because if you remember, she says that she put her 2 boys in the stroller, put Harmony in the stroller, and took Harmony to the pizza place.
So if that's December, So if that's December, that's January, February. That's your 2 months. Mm-hmm. So maybe he quit the job once they got the apartment. I don't know. See, we don't know because nobody's saying anything.
Yeah.
It's too many open-ended questions for my taste. And the state should know better. You never leave a stone unturned. You have to ask the questions. You never leave gaps. Ever.
No, because that's what makes mistrials, and that's what lets these crooks and criminals get off.
Well,
And this is one I don't believe they should be getting off. And I believe Kayla should be getting the same time Adam gets.
Well, good luck with that. This is probably the most bizarre case besides them West boys. Because that case had my case, that had my mind going too with what really happened, how many made it out to Cal City. This one's a dead ringer too.
I don't know. You got to look at a new one. It's out there.
I ain't looking at nothing else.
Miss Audrey Cunningham.
I ain't messing with the church, huh? This enough right here. Oh man. Oh, the little girl found in the river. I saw it today.
Yeah. Grandma let the person live in the house.
A stranger.
Yeah.
Now, how dumb of
listen,
how dumb of an idea is that? So let me ask you something. So where the little girl was found, how far is it from the house?
It's 11-minute walk. It's in there. They live in an estate,
I don't know about that.
I don't think it's a gated neighborhood.
Well, he would have had to carry her in something. He had to carry.
Well,
he had to carry her out of there. If it's him.
He was taking her to school and picking her up off the bus stop and all kinds of stuff.
Well, I'm sure there are cameras around there.
Mother lost custody. The state gave the little girl to the dad. Dad lost custody. Grandma got her. Dad and this dude are living with grandma.
Jenny, yeah. Honey, you can't make sense of that. 2 people testified in court. They saw that damn bag in the freezer. And I thought to myself, where is the supervisor? Why would I keep my bag of my belongings in a freezer? Is that the normal place to keep it? What I would think is he was stealing food. So I would have confronted him. Hey, what's in this bag? Show me what's in this bag. Why do you have this bag in the freezer? Why don't you have your bag in the locker or some community shared room? See, everything was visible to these stupid ass people and nobody asked the pertinent questions.
Yes, because in fast food, they have to, like, once or twice a week or whatever, clean the coolers and the freezers out.
Hey, honey. Oh, I'm taking calls through my IG caller. But later this week, you can join the live stream and hit the link. I'll be doing the link the 23rd.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. How they were able to carry her from place to place to place and nobody.
They folded her up and put her in the duffel bag, girl, and they folded her up and put her in the canvas bag. You forgot. She already said she was frail. The Tabitha girl said she was frail. It wouldn't take much once you break the body and break the bones and fold her up. She's not big. Because you're thinking of her. Listen, you're thinking of her in height wise. She's not that person once she's stuffed in the bag.
Oh no, I mean they folded her up.
Yeah,
they packed her.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is how were they able to take her from place to place to place and nobody smelled anything?
Well, they did smell something. But that's the whole point of that story. How did the maintenance man bypass Adam coming out of the room with the bag? Because remember, she said, he went in the bathroom to put her in the CMC bag. So where was the maintenance man while he's doing all that in the restroom? See, that's open-ended.
Up in the ceiling.
Say what?
Then he would have had to bypass him to the bathroom.
Health inspectors.
It just doesn't make any sense.
They're not going to call a health inspector, sweetheart, unless something was falling down or roaches or rats or something. They're not going to call a health inspector because of a bad odor. That's the purpose of the maintenance man. But see, what I don't understand is this. The maintenance man couldn't have checked the vent because he has to know that something has to go in or go out. If I open the vent and I don't see a trail of turds, then that means there were no mice or rats up there. I don't see a cat. I don't see a bird. I don't see a crow. Then that means something was put up there by a human. Duh. This is where this makes no sense to me.
Here's the other thing. If you're checking the vent, from the pictures, it looks like they lifted the
He did,
ceiling
Jenny.
tile and put her on the ceiling tile, not
Yeah,
in the vent.
that's what he did. After the bathroom, he had her go to the job, because I re-listened to that the other day, and that still doesn't make any sense. He goes in the bathroom. They don't explain how he bypassed the maintenance man or a supervisor. Then he calls her to say, come bring me the baby. But that doesn't make sense, because you were just in the bathroom folding her up. So how we go from the bathroom to him calling her to say, come bring me the baby, and she walked to the job? This story is all over the place. It's bullshit.
And then why didn't Adam take her himself? He was on his way.
That's
there
what I
anyway.
was. That's why I said it was open-ended. The prosecution don't know how to ask questions. Because I would have asked her specifically, when he was in the bathroom, what time of day was it? Did he have to work that day? So you got to make it go in a sequence to make it make sense. That whole conversation didn't make sense. Oh, he went in the bathroom because maintenance was coming, and then he called me to come bring the baby. Well, then that means he left you with the dead baby. So what? He left the canvas bag in the bathroom till the smoke cleared, and then what? You went in there, got the baby back out, and brought the baby out, put it in a stroller. It's ridiculous.
It's like one of those Mad Lib books, where there's openings and it says you fill it in yourself. Mad Libs.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Well, obviously there was no health inspection because the baby made it somewhere else to be disposed of.
And I believe she was in that U-Haul van.
And that makes no sense. Why would you rent a big old van for a little bitty bag? But then the guy says, listen, hold on. So the guy says, well, I did see boxes, so I just assumed they were moving, Travis says. So he said, so I got the guy to rent the van. I just assumed he was telling me the truth. So this is why I said this story is all over the place. You don't have no verification of shit.
Yeah.
So where do they take their stuff then? If they actually put stuff in the van with the dead girl in the bag. Where did their stuff go? So he rode their stuff 133 miles to drop off the baby and then haul that shit back down the highway. Or maybe he did that as a ruse. I'll put this stuff in the van to make it look like I'm moving, but I got the dead kid in here too.
Well, look at it like this. The one dude rents the van for the other two people for Adam. That means there's no connection to Adam.
I already know that. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about they were moving out at the same time allegedly, because the guy says I did see boxes. What I'm saying is when he put the baby in the bag, was that same stuff from the apartment also on the van? That's what I'm saying. You understand?
And where did they? Yeah, because that's the next question. Where did they take the stuff from the apartment?
Yeah, that's what I just asked. That's what I'm saying. Did he take the baby first and dump her, or he used the boxes of the stuff from the apartment as a ruse with the baby in the bag? I don't know.
Unless they donated it somewhere over that bridge.
Yeah, because we don't know where did they move after they left that apartment. I ain't heard about that either. My lighting is horrible.
Yeah, because we don't know what happened after the apartment.
Okay, so that's the state's job to ask.
Yeah.
Where did you all live after you dumped off the baby? He dumped off the baby, brought the van back, dropped it off at Willow Street. Where were you all staying then? In the hotel with your mother, with your father, where'd you go and where'd your stuff go?
Oh, did they take it to a storage unit?
Oh my God.
No, because that costs money.
I know.
And then the next time we hear about Adam, he's in the blue Pontiac with that girl.
Yvonne says maybe Adam was at work and Kayla was the one in the bathroom doing the deed and then went to the job with Harmony. Could be, Yvonne. Because that makes more sense.
Wow.
That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yes, it does.
But he's the one putting her at the shelter, because I'm pushing the cart before the horse. So that's the shelter incident. But then we get to the apartment incident with the lime and the drain. She only cut the clothes off allegedly.
Yeah, but see,
Or is that or I'm mixing that up?
Out of the roof because his fingerprints were on the roof tiles, not Kayla's.
Yeah. So well, we know that, but we're just still saying, you still don't know how much of a role she played as far as helping, degrade the kid.
Well, my theory on that is, the getaway driver gets the same amount of time as the bank robber.
Jenny says, I wish they would have pressed Travis harder on the details. Well, Travis probably didn't know anything. Kayla is the one spinning the story. That's who you're supposed to be asking.
Yeah, because as far as we know, Adam has told everyone that he took the baby back to.
But that's the version he's giving everybody. So in the end, if nobody knows what happened to the kid, everything falls on Kayla to spin the story. And she didn't do a good job because I was confused once we got to the bathroom part of the shelter. Okay, he's in the bathroom, then what? All we hear is, he called me and told me to come down and bring the baby. So I walked with the kids and took the baby to the job, and he's leaving the baby, I guess, back and forth in the this shit don't make no sense. So I want to know, did he leave the baby in the freezer, or he would only leave her in there while he was on shift and then take her back out?
But when does the cooler thing come in? And in the hallway at the mother.
That's in the beginning when they left Daryl's car.
Because I thought they were in the shelter quite a few times.
No, they may have went to the shelter in 2021, 22. But Daryl comes in first. The car breaks down. They go stay at his car for 2 days allegedly. But Daryl, I guess they got away over to the aunt's house. The aunt is supposed to be talking to the mother to explain the situation. So then the mother picks them up from the aunt's house. Because remember, she said he put the baby under the house, in the front of the house, in the duffel bag. Yeah. So now mom gets them. They got the duffel bag. Now they go to mom's apartment and puts the baby in the cooler in the hallway for about 3 weeks.
Yeah. Then it's to the shelter. Then it's to the pizza place. And then I guess the U-Haul.
No, to the apartment.
To the apartment, then the U-Haul.
Yeah, because they got the apartment after they came out the shelter. When you count all those places, I believe she was in the car, Daryl's car, the snowbank 2 times, the aunt's house, the mom-in-law's house, the shelter, the apartment, the freezer, and then transported by van. That is 9 separate locations.
And they were never caught with the smell or
never caught
or anything.
And never caught.
And no one ever counted kids.
Cold-hearted said, they said he was bringing her back and forth. Yeah, he had to bring her back and forth because only a food would have left her at the work in the freezer. That's stupid.
Yeah, because they would have eventually looked in that bag.
So really, he's using the freezer to preserve her from smelling and stop leaking. That makes sense.
Yeah, but that's what, 6-8 hours?
Well, and then he take her back, put her in their refrigerator. Remember, they said they put her in their refrigerator at their house?
Oh, yeah, at the apartment.
Yeah. So while she's frozen solid, she ain't going to thaw out right away in their refrigerator. So by the time he gets back up, she's barely melting. Now we're taking her back to the job. Put her back in the freezer. Then you got to ask how many times he worked. This is macabre because dealing with death is one final. Then this type of situation is disgusting because you're handling a bag with plastic bags and a corpse that you have folded up. 9 times out of 10, he's broken all her bones and head and squished everything to get her down in that damn travel bag. Yes. I can't. It's just too much.
What they need to do is tell them they're both getting the death penalty, and the first one that says,
I don't think they got the death penalty up there.
They get life without parole.
They ain't got no death penalty up there, girl. Ain't got no death penalty.
They need an express lane like Texas.
Yeah, well, they should have, if they want to unalive a kid, they should have been right here. They would have got it if they was in Florida or Texas.
Yeah. Texas put in the express lane.
Girl, stop it. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. The express lane.
You go straight there.
Oh my God, I can't with you. Well, now the last question. Well, where is she? Or what's left of her?
I don't know. I've been racking my brain trying to figure that, unless they dumped her off that bridge.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said it would have been better to dump her out of the bag. Only a fool would leave the bag, because you could have done that a long time ago, leave her in a bag. He would not want to be traced to any type of bag. You understand what I'm saying? So your best bet was to dump her in the water, the remains in the water, but not in the bag. I definitely, because the bag could float. That'd be a dumb idea.
And critters would have been able to get to her easier.
Exactly. Well, once you're dissolved in the water and you're already broke up, that's it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the other thing. When they talked to the trooper, they did not give the time from when they first spotted, because they spotted with the license plate reader. They did not give detail on that either.
But he was going. But was he going in Boston or coming out of Boston? I couldn't remember. I thought Boston was mentioned. Towards Boston. Okay.
Over that bridge. Well, I would think there would be a reader at the beginning of the bridge and at the end. My question is what time did they get him at the beginning and what time did they get him at the end? Because that would say, then you'd have to ask, how long is the bridge and how long would it take them to cross the bridge?
Well, I know one thing. It took him all day, because he didn't bring the van back until what, 1:47?
The next day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean it took him all day, because there's no telling where he went.
Well, I'm just speaking of the time. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. They got it back at 1:47.
Well, that's why they didn't give details of how long it takes to cross that bridge. Did they stop on the bridge? But they searched the areas along the bridge, on either side of the bridge. But they never found anything.
But that's why I said only a fool would have dumped her in the bag, because you don't want the bag coming back. You don't want the bag floating up. You don't want the bag getting stuck on something while throwing it over. It would be easier to get close to the riverbank and dump the particles into the river itself.
Well, they could have went into Brooklyn and dumped her in a garbage can, in a garbage bag.
Mm-hmm. But this is what amazed me about all of this transferring of plastic bags to the CMC bag. I would assume that lime would eat the bag. So I found that strange. That's my point. So I found it strange. You are dumping stuff in the tub, then you're putting it in a plastic bag. The remnants still seem like, to me, would eat away at the bag. When does it stop eating away at whatever? It's weird to me. This is macabre to me.
I don't know the way lime works.
And then you got to wear gloves.
Yeah.
And I wondered how bad the tub was bad, because that girl from the shelter said she asked them what was wrong with their tub because it looked so horrible. And they told her, oh, we're having problems. Stuff's been backing up in the tub. That was harmony in that damn tub. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah. The only way you're going to get it backed up in the tub is if, like, you clog the sink or the toilet.
And then just imagine sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet, you take a peep and you see this tub looking really rank. And little do you know, years later, you find out a dead person was in that tub, dissolved down with lime.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, imagine all the people that are coming forth now with their little bits and pieces, and they're now realizing what actually happened.
So what now?
I said, imagine all these people coming forth now with what little bit they have, and they're actually realizing what happened.
Yeah, and I asked that question the other day. What do the people have to say that had personal contact with Adam and Kayla during these short years before, the mother reported her missing and it became national news? Imagine all the people that were dealing with them, getting high, running them around, errand running, this and that. You know, God forbid what else Adam was doing. He probably was sleeping around, whoring around. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, that one lady in the blue Pontiac was found unalived in a motel room.
Yeah, because they probably were getting high.
Well, there ain't no telling what he told her, though.
Well, pillow talk. He may have told her.
Yeah.
And she was a pretty girl. That picture they showed on Court TV, I could believe that's the same girl that got out the car that day when they got arrested.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about the rivers frozen, ground frozen, snowed over. Well, that's the whole point, Jenny. We don't know where he took her. He could have took her out in the marsh. He could have took her in the woods. Could have dumped her. Like I said, more than likely he took the bag and the canvas bag, dumped the remnants out somewhere, and then carried that bag, plastic bag, and the CMC bag. He's dumped that somewhere separate than where he dumped her remains. He ain't dumped them together. I doubt it. Because if that's the case, he could have done that in the beginning.
Yeah, because here's the other thing. Brooklyn and that bridge and like Connecticut and all that connect. He could have, like I said, just put her in a garbage bag and put her in somebody's garbage can or a dumpster or anything.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that because people got cameras and stuff.
Well, not in all places, though. I mean, look at what happened with them.
Yeah, but let's be truthful. He's had ample enough time to really do all that in the beginning. You could carry, just like he carried the bag around town, they could have carried that bag on the end of a bus line or train line. Walked off somewhere where nobody was listening. Walked off somewhere and dumped that baby somewhere in some water, a pond. Nobody would have known shit. Took the bag, carried it, threw it in the garbage can, and jumped back on the bus or the train. Because in the end, nobody knows that you have a baby. So that's why I don't understand why it took this long to dispose of her if I'm supposed to believe this 3-month ass bullshit.
Well, that's why I say it could be that he dumped her before that, he dumped her after that, or the thing about it is, the question is, why did he carry her so long? Did he not want anyone else to have her?
Listen.
Is that the thing? You know,
Hagen, please stop. He was scared to dump her because he knew the bag could come back. You can't think you're going to dump somebody in a box or a tub and it won't float back up. It's plastic. You understand what I'm saying? That's why he held on to her. He didn't trust himself to dispose of her without her popping back up. Because naturally, if the bag pops up, somebody looks in the bag, the tub, whatever. Now we've got to try to figure out who this child belongs to. Well, you start asking around. You start putting up posters. Hey, anybody got a missing kid? Massachusetts is close to New Hampshire. It would only be a matter of time it got back wind to Crystal. Oh, well, I've got a missing kid. You see what I'm saying? He knew that would happen. So that's why he carried her around, because he didn't trust himself. He didn't trust himself to dispose of her.
But then the question would be, is what made him dispose of her?
Hagen, please stop. Hagen, how long are you going to keep carrying around a dead kid? Now, you know better.
I'm not going to, but him on the other hand and Kayla, that's different.
Hagen?
I'm just saying, what made him finally dispose of her after all that time?
She stunk. Come on now.
Thinking.
Well, but the point is, you're now at month 3. He knew he could not continue to keep carrying the bag around. He couldn't keep going back and forth, in and out. When it's smelling, it's got to be broken down. The body had to be broken down, just the way it is. You couldn't keep carrying her around. That wasn't going to work. You've already stunk up a shelter. You've already clogged up a bathroom in your apartment. I mean, it's common sense. This couldn't keep going on. They had to break her down. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
He just didn't have common sense to do it early on. Everything he did, he could have done day one. They got money. They had income. She was probably getting some type of checks or some type of money. They could have, instead of getting high all the time, they could have took their money from selling food stamps to go rent a van, to get somebody to rent a van and dump the baby. Really, you could have rented a car and dump a kid. She was in a little bitty bag. I don't know why they would even waste their breath with the rental van. I don't know if they really put their furniture in that van or not. I don't know. I just know the boy said, Travis said, well, I did see stuff packed up in the apartment. So yes, I assume that's what they needed the van for. Yeah.
Unless by then Department of Social Services had come in and was asking questions.
Well, my understanding, the social worker did contact him that January with another report, whatever that was about. See, nobody elaborated about that.
Yeah, because then you'd have to ask, was that an actual visit or just a phone call?
Well, damn it, Hagen, you go call him and ask him. He's the postal worker now. see if he'll respond.
I get up in this.
He's probably doing the same damn thing at the postal service that he was doing as a social worker. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Somebody says, I wonder what condition his clothes were in when he came back from the U-Haul drive. Very good question, Jenny. Don't know. The smell, the lime, freezing were an attempt to stop the smell, in my opinion. It took Adam that long to figure out what to do. Where's the cooler? That could be taped up with weights added in it. Yeah, well, Kung Fu, that cooler didn't belong to him, so he knew he couldn't take that. That was the mother-in-law's cooler.
Yeah, but then you have to ask, did the mother-in-law keep the cooler?
Well, they got the cooler in court, remember?
Oh, okay, that's the cooler. Okay.
I'm assuming this is one, or one similar to it.
Can you imagine getting that knock on the door asking to come take that cooler?
Yeah, because I remember her saying, I knew what was going on when they came to take the cooler, because she said that at trial. And then she stopped herself because, you're not supposed to repeat certain things. So she figured, yeah, this had to been about Harmony when they came and got the cooler. I thought, wow, can you imagine that?
Almost like she already knew.
Well, I can't necessarily say she knew, but I'm questioning her now.
Yeah.
With all this stuff about dried blood on the girl's face and, he punched her days before. My mindset is telling me maybe he's been beating on her and they knocked her off days before the 7th or hell, October. I don't know, because you don't have a receipt to anything.
Exactly. That's why I say
what we need is somebody to come forward to say, he talked to me in October and said she's gone. That would be a good idea to say she's been gone way back before November and December. But I could have sworn I read that somewhere.
As much as they traveled back and forth here and there, wouldn't there be some kind of camera footage, CCTV or something?
To show what, Hagen?
How many kids?
Well, you got to remember, these are the kind of people that like leaving their children in the car. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she was 5 years old.
You're not listening. They're the type of people that like to leave their children in the car. I just told you they was doing that with the methadone clinic until somebody called, and then they decided to start letting one sit in while the other one go in the clinic. The type of people that would be taking their children out of the car. Probably the most they took the child out of the car was when they finally got home from running around chasing dope all day.
Well, what I'm also saying is, like, you'll be able to see the kids, especially the two little ones, if they're in car seats.
Okay, listen.
And she should have been
if people don't have doorbell cameras, you live in a poor area where people can't afford doorbell cameras, that's that. That's why I said they should have somebody to go back in time to say, I read somewhere somebody said October. I don't know.
Well, the only reason I said...
Yeah, Shirley says, I'm telling you, Harmony. Shirley, why do you think she was unalive in October? He last saw all the kids October, the social worker. because that's the last time he went to the house to check. He did an unexpected visit because they said he would do pop-up visits without without telling them when he was coming.
So he was there in October instead of August.
Well, October was his last time going to the house, the social worker.
Okay. So that would leave October to November.
Well, it don't necessarily have to be November.
Well,
This is listen.
November?
This is their version. This is a version of a woman who aided somebody. So in the end, she's all you got to go on. He's not going to tell you nothing. They weren't fooling with anybody. The family had already moved out of the house, moved to Florida. So all you got are the people who they were hanging around, getting rides with, and actually saw the kids. That's all you got. You can't get nothing on camera. And like I said, they're not the type of people that were walking their children around and engaging with their children. So you're not going to see them because they weren't those kind of people.
Yeah.
It's a difference if they were letting the kids go outside, play. No. They weren't those kind of people.
Yeah.
Kung Fu says they don't bring them inside to be seen on camera. Yeah. You're lazy. You're ornery. And then people don't understand when you're fooling with children, and not trying to be disrespectful, but children are, to some degree, I don't want to say this, but dead weight.
Yeah.
Because you got to keep lugging. That's why they were leaving them in the damn car when they was at the methadone clinic. It's too much. Unstrapping one, carrying another one. Then two, she was allegedly pregnant.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't make no sense for her to keep having all these damn kids. You kill this kid and now you're pregnant with another kid. For what?
Well, see, that's what I don't get either. First of all, all your kids are going to be taken from you. Why don't, if you're going to do something, do like the black market where you sell them.
Yeah. Well, that one Tabitha girl in that report I read last night, police report, she said Kayla told her that that Adam told her, oh, Kayla's trying to sell me. So she said, well, when I didn't see Harmony, I thought that's what happened. They sold Harmony. Weird. That's why I asked the question the other day, who's Tabitha Scott? What does she know? Don't really know. I don't know.
Yeah, see, all these new people coming in, you just don't know. And I still haven't figured out who the next witness is going to be.
That was the last real confirmation site of Harmony. Yeah, by the social worker. Exactly. Okay, that's what you're saying. The social worker saw her in October.
See, I still think she was gone before Thanksgiving, and I think the grandma was lying.
Right, but Shirley, as I just said, these aren't the kind of people that were engaging with children. So they're not going to be carrying their children around like you carry your kids and grandkids around. These are drug addicts. So they're trying to get high. They don't have time to be walking their kid down the street and singing them songs and nursery rhymes. They're just carrying them around, running in and out of stores and shit, leaving the kids unattended until they have to take them back to the house and put them in the house to go to bed. Feed them, go to bed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you listen to Kayla's testimony, it was she didn't take them to the bathroom. She said she took them sometimes, but if you did, they wouldn't be bathrooming.
Well, and then they know that. Harmony would know that, not the two, because the two would have diapers on. So Harmony probably knew, okay, well, she's not taking me to the bathroom. I don't have any other choice but to use it on myself. And if I get the vibe that you're not the kind of person I can ask to take me to the restroom, I ain't going to ask you.
Exactly. And if you're not a mindful mother that takes care of her kids, you're not going to turn around and say,
and Kung Fu,
it's bedtime, let's go use the potty.
And Kung Fu, that's a good point too. Don't want anybody to see that the children were bruised and neglected. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you leave them in the car.
There were so many places you could take a child to use the bathroom: a truck stop, a rest area.
Well, the daughter died before COVID. COVID didn't happen until 2020, which would have been, Harmony would have been already unalive coming into the start of COVID. So she was already gone by the time COVID started, when the lockdown started.
Yeah.
They went to Burger King and the clinic have cameras on the outside of them, just like Walmart does in the parking lot. Well, Shirley, we haven't heard what was seen with them going to Burger King. I haven't heard anything. And what are you gonna see? And listen, and what are you gonna see in a car that the cop even said November 29th, it was cluttered with stuff? You don't know what you're looking at inside of a car. Somebody had to be reaching through the window to say, oh yeah, I saw 2-3 kids in the back seat, when I was handing them their food or taking their order, taking their money. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm just saying anything's possible with the camera thing.
Okay, so listen to what you're saying now. Anything's possible, but you just watched the trial. They've rested. Nobody's testified to seeing the damn kids. Out of all that year, almost a year of having those kids. Come on. Just saying. They got her in February 19. Listen, they got her in February 19. Allegedly, she died December of 19. That's almost a year. And you had not one person as an eyewitness of a video of any of the fucking kids. So that should tell you how they were living.
Yeah.
They didn't let the kids out of the car. They didn't let them out.
That's crazy.
That's no different than just leaving them in the fucking house. But they didn't have a house to leave them in.
Yeah.
You know damn well they would have been seen somewhere from 10, 11 months. But there is no playtime, going to the library, enrolled in school, taking them to the park, running in and out of Walmart, shopping. These people were selling the food, stamps, barely living, only running around with the kids in the car. Those kids was just doing the in and out thing. And I find it strange. In 11 months, you don't have no surveillance of any of the fucking children together. That's strange. So that means somebody wasn't allowing the children to roam about. That's the only way you can explain that.
Well, the only other explanation is a lot of your video from companies rolls over after a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. And it had been 2 years before she was reported missing.
Yeah, well.
So by then, if there was
video, and that's probably a good explanation. You're right. They didn't open an investigation until Manchester didn't open it up until December 21. Right. By that time, nobody has footage of 2 years of a kid or kids or them roaming around. So that's a very good point. You wouldn't have anything because CPS wasn't looking for, the mother didn't have the resources to, whatever, continue to look for her. Wow.
And by then, a lot of people had probably forgotten about the Montgomery'S or the kids,
Shirley Harris says, I don't believe the mother-in-law for the simple fact that of what she said Harmony was in that cooler on Thanksgiving. Well, she didn't say she was in a cooler on Thanksgiving. She said they went by the house briefly. She, the father, Adam, and the kids. The mother said they came by, and that's the last time she saw Harmony. And she was quiet and she didn't talk much. That's what the mother-in-law said. Kayla lost her kids. Yes. Shirley said to get the cooler. Say what, Shirley? What are you trying to say? I'm trying to understand what your point is.
And see, that's another thing. During Thanksgiving, if you're going to stop by someone's house, are you not going to stop to eat?
That's why I said all this is bullshit. You are homeless, but you don't tell your mother you're homeless. And then you leave and stay gone for 2 days and then go to your aunt's house. And then she calls the mother over to say, hey, they're homeless. Could you please let her stay with you? Blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not saying it couldn't have went like that, but it still makes me question everything because it is true. Kayla is a liar. So I believe some of her testimony as far as, the abuse, punching her in the nose, all that, which I didn't even know that a week ago. But that's what got me to thinking that maybe the child was dead before December 7th is when she said she had dry blood on her face. Something just told me, for all we know, that girl's been laying back there dead for a week or two. Because if you're bold enough to carry a corpse around for 3 months, you would be the same type of person that would drive around with a dead kid in the back seat. What's the difference? There is no difference. Oh, Myra says, who leaves money in the cooler? Well, I thought the same thing. The cooler is on the floor where anybody could come and get it, look in it, be nosy. And I'm going to put money in there. Just because it's sitting by my door doesn't mean my neighbor wouldn't pick it up, want to take it and use it.
Yeah. Well, they took a chance by carrying that baby as long as they supposedly did.
Shirley says the reason they went to the mother-in-law house was to get the cooler. They didn't go eat. Well, how do you know that? They went and got the cooler. Well, then if that's the case, they didn't have anywhere to store it but in the car. But Daryl didn't say he saw a cooler in the car or in the back seat. So that wouldn't make sense to go get the cooler to end up going back to the mother's house with the cooler. Because wouldn't the mother say, well, what's in the cooler when you came back? Make it make sense. So allegedly they stayed with the mother. So the mother would be questioning the cooler, don't you think? What do you need my cooler for? You don't have anything. You don't got no food or nothing, do you?
Yeah, why are you carrying an empty cooler?
Yeah, she would question the cooler. That wouldn't make any sense to me.
That's why the cooler was left where it was.
Summer says the mom is a liar. Yeah, well, they probably are all liars. Well, Myra, I think, she's probably covering for Kayla. So we don't have any proof that she brought Harmony with them Thanksgiving. We have no proof to that. That's just the whole gist of this story pertaining to this kid. You don't have no proof to nothing, no camera work to tell you shit. Only person you could possibly ask that might tell half the truth. I find it strange they didn't ask nobody in the apartment building where she lived. But the mother said, well, she wasn't here, so I guess they would feel no need to go talk to anybody in the apartment building. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's all bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Because there's got to be a nosy person in the apartments.
Shirley says, not really if the cooler's outside. Well, it's in the hallway. All I'm saying is, most people will question you about their belongings. I can see the mother because she said she kept a lot of tools and stuff. So I would see her asking about the cooler. But what doesn't make any sense is that allegedly the child was putting the cooler in the bag. And we know she smelled because she was smelling in the shelter. And if you weren't using any type of deodorizer in the bag, come on, let's be truthful. How is it that nobody smelled the little girl out in the hallway? That's strange to me.
Exactly. And you can't leave stuff out in the hallway in an apartment building. Well,
obviously they live in a place where nobody cared about that, Hagen. Everybody's not the same that owns properties. She said the cooler was out there. It stayed out there. So my thing is, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm talking about why nobody smelled anything in the damn cooler.
Yeah.
Because if the mother, listen, if the mother didn't know that they killed the kid, right? You still got to walk outside your door to go to work, go somewhere. How's it that you don't smell the kid?
Yeah.
This is something. That's why I said there's something still off with this story.
Well, that's been my whole thing. The smell. I don't understand how no one.
Exactly.
No one.
Yeah, Shirley, I see what you're saying. And nobody at the mom's, the shelter, or the apartment complained. Well, somebody did complain at the shelter. So we could scratch the shelter. The shelter complained. But so the apartment and the mother's apartment is the issue. And still the shelter's kind of an issue still because we didn't hear they got put out of the shelter for nefarious business or stinking up the room. Because, see, you got to prove what made the smell happen. So maybe they opened the vent, didn't see anything, but they still was suspicious, but maybe they just didn't say to their face, hey, we know you put something up here. What did you put up here? I think they should have called the police when they went in there, if they went in there. See, we don't even have proof that they even went in the fucking vent.
Yeah.
Now, common sense would be the maintenance man walk in the room. He could say, oh, the smell's coming from here. See what I'm saying? So he could walk around the room, look at everything, So nothing's left but under the bed or the vent. Okay, let me crawl up and look in the vent. Open the vent. I don't see anything, but I do see stains. So now I'm supposed to ascertain how something got in here. So we don't even know if they did that. See, that's where I have a problem with the testimony. That wasn't described in court.
Exactly. And like the maintenance man at the apartment, he didn't describe anything other than what he did.
But what did he say he did? No. Oh, I'm not talking about the maintenance man at the apartment. I'm talking about at the shelter. Nobody explained what the maintenance man did at the shelter.
Well, that's why I'm assuming what he did is he took the lid off the vent, looked in the vent, didn't see anything, but he did not pop up the ceiling tiles. It was one of those drop ceilings.
Listen, when you put the damn bag in the vent, the stain was coming through the bag. You ain't got to lift up nothing.
I don't think it was in the vent. I think it was just in the drop ceiling.
Listen, I'm saying you pull the vent hood thing off, the top piece. You pull that off, then you sit the bag in. Why you couldn't smell it in there and see the stains on top of the drywall or whatever the tile?
That's a metal vent. That's what I'm saying. If it's in the metal vent, it's not going to touch the ceiling tile.
I don't understand what you're saying.
It's a drop ceiling with ceiling tiles. The vent is metal. The chute for the vent is metal.
Okay, so, but listen to what you're saying. He still had a way to put it up there, Hagen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is what the stainage was on the tile. So what they'd have to do is pop one of them tiles and put the bag on another ceiling tile and pull the ceiling tile back.
I'm confused. Because you're making it sound like he did extra shit, and that just don't sound right.
No, this is easy. If you have a drop ceiling with ceiling tiles, all you got to do is push the ceiling tile. It'll move.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you then, because I'm utterly confused. How the fuck did the baby get up in the damn vent, or it was the push towel? Which one are you saying?
What I'm saying is if the maintenance man checked the vent, not the ceiling tiles, just the vent. The vent, you're popping off a metal screen-like thing.
So
and you can hide stuff up in the ceiling.
Okay, so listen at this then. You mean to tell me then the fucking panel didn't have a stain on it that I could visually see?
It might not have leaked through that far yet. Because from what the pictures that I seen, wherever they laid that baby in that bag, that ceiling tile was stained. But if you're looking up, you're standing in the room and you're looking up at what you see as a ceiling tile, that part of the ceiling tile, it hadn't leaked through yet.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get an understanding. I'm not trying to be rude, but that's why I was sitting there saying, you got to decide how he pushed which one up to get the baby up in there. But something leaked out through that damn bag, because we saw the original pictures and it was more soiled than what they brought into court. I'm just saying.
Well, they could have had that bag wrapped in plastic or anything, and there was just a small leak.
In the end, you know this shit's still illogical, okay?
Yeah, I know.
It's still illogical because they still stayed in the shelter, which still is bizarre that somebody is not saying once they walk in the room, before you start touching anything, something in here is foul. Go get a ladder. And we are supposed to investigate the vent because it should permeate as you start climbing up the ladder. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So either way, you should have been pulling all that shit down and say, it's something up here.
Well, I mean, I could see the maintenance man pulling or looking in the vent and not seeing anything and then walking away and going and saying, I don't see anything. It's got to be something else.
And yes, Shirley, you're right. I agree.
Belongings. It It could be the kids. It could
Okay,
be
I got you about the vent. But what I'm saying, even if I did just the vent part, right? It still is going to stink more than me just being down on ground level. So now I'm up near the vent. I'm smelling this odor. I still should be investigating, saying something's wrong. I don't see anything dead. Let's pull the rest of the. That's what a person with some sense would have done. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I want.
There's no way you should have let that go. If it's no way that should have been let go with just pulling the even if you just looked in the vent. You see what I'm saying? You still should have said, how did something get up here, but we don't see the something.
Well, apparently they didn't see anything because the cops were able to collect it, 2 years later?
Because it proves you didn't take any of the towels down.
Yes.
That's the point I'm trying to make. That no matter if I went through the vent first, I still should be smelling something really pungent. Whether I visually see something up there or not, the odor is still there. That's what I'm saying. And if you know there's no way for it to get back out, then what the fuck was up there? That's what I'm saying. Somebody put something up here, which is a human, not an animal.
Yes. But what I'm saying is apparently no one took the time to really pay attention or look.
But see, Shirley, that's what we're trying to say is you can't think it's a dead rat because even if you look up there, you're going to see, even with the vent, okay, I don't see a rat. Where would it have gone?
Yeah.
If it's dead, it's dead. I would see it.
Well, and if it's a dead rodent, after a while, the smell's going to go away. And it might have done that after they removed Harmony from the ceiling.
Well, they knew to get her out the ceiling because people were complaining, I guess, about the odor. So they had to get her out. So that's where getting her out, putting her in the bag and going in the bathroom. But see, all that still is fuzzy to me because I'm trying to understand the time frame of somebody saying, hey, we're going to check all the rooms. We got a weird smell. We're going to be coming in all the rooms to check the vents. They must have said, oh, got to hurry up, go up there, get her out. Take her out in the bathroom and, you understand what I'm saying? Stuff her in that other CMC bag. And then she's still stinking. This is where this is still confusing. You still carrying the odor from the ceiling to the room, to the hallway, to the bathroom.
Yeah. And then out of the shelter. That's
bullshit.
What I don't understand why.
So that smell should have been following from the ceiling all the way to the bathroom, all the way out of the place. This is still bullshit.
I mean, unless they somehow.
Carla, right. Carla says, yes, heat rises, so the smell would be strong. Exactly. And then it's wintertime, so heat is on. Great point.
Yes.
Great point.
Well, that too, because she was up in the ceiling and heat rises.
Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy. This makes no sense to me. I've been questioning that.
This doesn't make any sense.
I've been questioning this for a week. How did he get out the ceiling with the baby into the bathroom? This is puzzling me. Without nobody saying, I still smell it more now. You understand? I smell it more now.
I understand. And that's what also puzzles me is how were they not stopped or didn't come across someone and carrying the bag out of the shelter?
Pinto, you said it. I bet in hindsight, these people are thinking they should have known something wasn't right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that when you are pulling out something, let's say deceased, dead, animal, whatever, it's a human, as you go pull it out, the smell is going to travel on its route.
Yeah.
So the smell had to leave the room, the hallway, into the restroom, back out the restroom, out of the building. You got to think about how long the hallway was, going past other people to get out of the damn building. Now think about that.
Well, that's what puzzles me too, because someone would say, or look at him and be like, Are you smelling this? Are you the one stinking? And nobody did.
I give up. I totally did. I'm just saying. If you couldn't figure out that death was in that room or one of those rooms there, what are you eating? Something is terribly wrong with the person who owns the shelter, supervisor, CEO, whoever was running that shelter. You should be out of a job. And whether you were there or not, whoever was in charge should have said, we're checking every room, every vent, pull the panels down. We need to find what this is. Because in hindsight, you know damn well that odor traveled from place to place just to get out the fucking building. So this is bullshit.
Well, I know that and you know that, but apparently they were lucky enough to not get caught.
Yeah, Kung Fu, you're right. Nobody would say, are you stinking at a homeless shelter? Well, maybe that's what it was, Kung Fu. But death don't smell like no just regular old funky body odor. I would think it smells a little bit different. And guess we'll smell some rank folks that smell like they probably were dead. So you got a good point. But they knew something was wrong, and they knew it was more than just a funky body odor for them to be allegedly going to check the rooms. What a mess. This is so ridiculous to me.
If they really did a thorough check, they would have found them ceiling tiles.
Yeah, that's my point. And that's my point. That I still would have been investigating as a thorough maintenance worker. Once I pulled off the vent, I still would have said, woo, this don't smell right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my point. I still would have said something ain't right. And then once I saw how it's made, see, we don't even know if there was a way for there not to even be a way for an animal to escape. So then that means a human put something up there. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So we don't even know how it's made up in there. If you pull the vent off, we don't know if there was a wall or something where nothing could have got in anyway.
Yeah.
To travel back out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Like a squirrel or raccoon or...
Shirley says she walked with that bag down the street to the pizza place. You know she walked by people and nobody questioned her. Well, ain't nobody going to say nothing about a stinky woman walking with a stroller. May I suggest forces unnatural may have assisted those diabolical people. Who? Satan? Jeffrey Dahmer had complaints. Yeah, he did. Dead mouse under the motor of the back of the... Yeah. Oh, Lord. Refrigerator. The mouse was dried to a crisp and the stench was atrocious. Exactly, Carla. A small mouse can stink up an entire house.
Yeah.
So imagine a baby that's this tall. Lord have mercy.
5 years old, what? 3 foot, 4 foot tall,
30 something,
40
35 pounds. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gen 7 said neighbors. He said refrigerator went down with meat. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I remember that. And you're right. They complain. They complain. But they complain and complain and complain to the landlord, the black man, African man that was managing the property. And he's like everybody else. They were just taking the people's rent, didn't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Turned a blind eye.
And the refrigerator wasn't taken until the police came.
Mm-hmm. Nobody could ever imagine or think a child could be dead somewhere. They went into the shelter with 2 children, so they didn't know harmony even existed. Very good point, Brooke. But see, that's the gist of the story. Whether you went in the shelter single, 2 kids, 3, lied, that smell should have been investigated thoroughly.
Yeah.
That's where I have the problem. There's no way that they should have been left, that they should have come out of there without a police coming in to say, that smells like death, that smells like decomposition. And even after the fact, when the cop testified the other day, he said it when we pulled it off. I thought he said that it smelled like decomposition up there still, even 2 years later. Or am I wrong?
Yeah. that means they did not call an exterminator to see maybe if it was an animal. They really didn't investigate like they should have, because that could have harmed everyone's health, depending upon what it was. Just saying.
Somebody sitting there talking about throwing away chairs. I can't. Kung Fu, you're killing me. That a homeless person sat in. Yeah. Yeah. I bet they won't dismiss it now. Exactly, Jen. And that's one of the questions I put up on my community page. So please go to my community page to take the polls, and also look at the posts I put up pertaining to the smell and what is that's one of the polls I put up pertaining to the shelter. Have they changed their ways now as far as checking rooms, so on and so forth? I will say this. If they still didn't follow appropriate protocol once the police started investigating and taking the towels and stuff down, they know now, after hearing testimony, to check all rooms from here on out.
Yeah, I would think so.
Rooms, vents, luggage, and no more men staying in a room with a woman. Because I found that strange too.
Yeah. Like I said, the thing that baffles me is they got away with carrying that baby around.
And that's the part. And see, that's the most wicked part. Not just Harmony was harmed unalive and nobody told anything about not seeing her anymore, because the point is about that. Anybody can spin a story about where their child is.
Yeah.
You can either accept it or you don't accept it. But, most people don't go prying to see if the child is really with the mother or the auntie or whatever. The fact that they were carrying her around, you can't make this make no sense.
No.
Because that was one of the videos I wanted to do this week. Just the fact that she was deceased. And if we're to believe Kayla's account, this girl was carried around for 3 whole months and nobody said, let me check this bag. In the freezer, in the shelter. This is bullshit.
And how the plumber that fixed the tub
Yes, Summer.
in the apartment said nothing.
Yeah, Summer's right. Place to place to place. The odor was the dead giveaway, literally. And nobody picked up on it. So this means we've got some very dense ass people. Because even if you have never been around a dead body, the smell, they say, will make you realize it's death. If you've never even been around a body before.
It doesn't even have to be a person. It could be an animal. It could be a critter, because they have similar smells. It's just a critter smaller, and that smell will go away sooner.
Well, Green Eye, we're only assuming that the lime came in at the end when it was time to put her in the CMC bag to go to the freezer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the pizza place.
Yeah, the pizza place.
Guy, can you imagine those people? I'd be like, I'm never eating here again.
And that don't make no sense. You're going to work with a bag, and instead of you putting it in a place that's a dry place, you're putting it in the freezer, and nobody's thinking, why is this guy, not a woman, carrying a bag and putting it in the damn freezer? That was a dead giveaway.
Yeah, because what are you going to put in the freezer? Nothing. Even if you're carrying your lunch to school.
I don't understand.
Lunch to school, lunch to work.
I would have assumed he's stealing. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I would have thought.
Yeah.
Oh, he's stealing pizza. Let's go open this bag. He's got pizza in here, pizza dough, whatever. Oh, that ain't no pizza dough.
No, that's what got me too. Like, they didn't look. All them people that, half the store workers are going to go into that freezer at some point or another.
Green Eye says the physician assistant, and you will know that smell. Well, obviously nobody knew it. How about that? Nobody knew the smell. Nobody cared to know the smell. Somebody in that damn shelter knew, and they probably was cussing under their breath. You hear me?
Yeah.
Somebody in that shelter knew death. Somebody in that shelter has been with a dead person. Because you want me to believe somebody in that shelter weren't in the company of a dead person at one point? Oh, I bet you they did. Oh, I bet you they have.
That's why it was reported. But by the time, like I said, they didn't do a thorough search or look through anything or.
Yes, and Jen said he was a new employee also. Very true. Very well said. Why is this new guy toting a canvas bag that's from the hospital into the freezer? What's going on here? Let's check the bag. Make sure he's not stealing anything. This is...
Yeah, because at best case scenario, you're toting a bag and maybe you packed a meal for, but then you won't put it in the freezer, you put it in the refrigerator.
Well, Kung Fu, the police would draw straws before placing them in the car. Shelter's as good as it gets to hide. Yeah, I guess so. Lunchbox does one guy need laugh out loud. Jenny, please stop.
Lord,
no, the average person would have thought he was stealing and they would have opened that bag, I'm telling you. If they didn't open the bag, they would have told Adam, we need to talk to you. We realize you brought this bag in. You brought it in more than once. Open the bag, please. Can you imagine that? I got to do a video on that by itself. Imagine had they pulled the bag out and made Adam open the bag. Oh, my goodness.
Or if they had already looked in the bag and then got Adam to open the bag.
I ain't got to get him to come open the bag. I'm calling the police once I open the damn bag and see it's a mushed up child in there. I ain't getting ready to call you in here to open the bag and I just open it.
Well, no, see, you close the bag and then you go in there.
Hagen, you what? Hagen, it's not TV. Stop it, please. Come on now.
Because you know his name wasn't on it, like he was in kindergarten.
You're going to open a bag and find a dead kid balled up in there, and then you're going to go to the person and you're going to zip the bag back up and then hand it back to the person. You would not do that. Don't tell me you would not do that.
I'm going to zip it up. I'm going to go to my office. I'm going to call the police. But in the meantime, the minute I know the police are at the front and the back door, I'm going to be like, I got a question. Does anyone own a canvas bag in the freezer?
Hagen, this is a very bad joke right now.
That's not a joke. I want to know who that bag belongs to because their name's not on it.
You already know who the bag belongs to.
Well, yeah, all they'd have to do is,
Hey, you need to go to bed.
I call the police and let the police handle it then.
Night, Hagen. I'm not getting ready to go ask. I'm not getting ready to go. Think about what you're saying. You're cracking a joke, but it's really not a good joke because who the fuck is getting ready to go ask somebody what? Open this bag and you already seen the dead person's in the bag. You just killed a person and you're carrying around a dead corpse balled up, and you think a person is getting ready to go joke with a baby killer about a bag.
Not joke, just
no, because it is a joke. But the way you said it, it is a joke. You've already opened the bag and see the person's dead in there. You're gonna now go around and start asking people, hey, like this Oprah Winfrey show, you get a car, you get a car, you get a bag, you get a bag. You're gonna start going around asking people, is this your canvas bag? After you just seen a dead kid inside. Hell no. I'm gonna tell everybody outside. Everybody outside.
Well, if I've seen him with that bag, I'm not going to ask anyone. But if not, I'm going to call the police and let them figure it out because my that's above my pay grade.
Carla says the very fact that Adam thought no one would look is quite ballsy. And it worked for him, unfortunately, not for Precious Harmony. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what's so baffling about the story is that you've already unalived the child, however, and then you are brazen, once again, to have somebody go along with you, carrying this dead kid around, place to place to place to place, and nobody woke up with this awful smell to say something's not right in this vicinity.
Well, not only that, Kayla put the bag in the stroller with the two babies.
Yeah,
How
she
do you
did.
do that?
The same way you carry it around. And what's the difference?
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying.
It's no difference. You slept with the baby dead in the ceiling. You slept with the baby going back and forth in the bathroom, to the freezer, back to the room, freezer. Did that occur to anybody when somebody in the chat said that he was taking the baby back and forth from the freezer? So that means you still was bringing the dead baby back in the shelter. Ding, 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 ding.
And there ain't no telling how long she was laid out in the back seat or in the trunk of that car either. And they were living in the car too, so.
Oh my God. Bringing the baby back into the shelter after the people then just allegedly supposed to be looking in the shelter to see where the smell is coming from. You can't make this up.
Did they bring her back into the shelter?
He had to. Somebody in the chat said he was coming back and forth. You had to take it back because where are you going to keep it without worrying about somebody picking up the bag?
Exactly, because from the pizza place back to the shelter at night or when he got off work. And then I guess he'd have to take her back to work with him.
Green Eye, that's the point we're making about this whole scenario. That how did all these people miss the red flags pertaining to the bag? The bag was smelling at the mother's house in the hallway, number one. The bag was smelling in the shelter. You took it to the freezer at the job at some point, but you still had to bring it back to the shelter until they moved out in February. Then the baby's now in a whole apartment in a refrigerator. I'm done with it.
And then at some point, they messed up the tub with her.
And Carla says he still thinks he's going to fool everyone and blame Kayla.
Well, she's just as culpable as he is, I think. So, because she had many times she could have got away from him while he was at work. She could have said something while they were at the shelter. She could have said something the day that all that went down.
Yes, she's guilty.
She could have told the dope dealer.
She's guilty. Yeah. This is a question I posed to you all. I'm going to check out of here because we're almost at 3 hours. I have thoroughly enjoyed this live stream and the interaction from everybody and Ms. Hagen. This is a question I have, and I want everybody to think very carefully about what I'm getting ready to ask. With all the comments, I got almost 100 people watching. With all your comments in the chat right now, all the places I named, 9 places the body sat, to my knowledge. Imagine Adam has told somebody besides Kayla about the baby in the bag. Would they have told the police?
Yes, they would have told the police.
You think so?
That's why he didn't tell anybody but Kayla. The problem I have is I don't know if he told Kayla where Harmony was put.
Well, allegedly she said he wouldn't tell her because he wouldn't want her to talk about an investigation, which that's where we are now. Investigation / trial.
Well, see, some states will not prosecute without a body. I don't know if they're in one of
But a lot of states do though. A lot of states will prosecute. When you got circumstances such as this, you got towel, you've got the toothbrush, the stains in the trunk, you've got enough, for the indictment, plus the uncle saying he hit the baby, he admitted to hitting the baby. So I'm going to put this up before I check out of here. Because I think I put it on my community page, but I'll do it now while I'm in this live stream. Well, y'all got my head going right now.
Because in my mind, he has told everyone that he gave Harmony back to her mother.
Right, and he's done that. But guess what? We've learned about pillow talk, of course, right?
Yes.
There's always that one that a person would trust to tell their deep, dark secret to, because everybody's done it. Maybe not murder, but you told somebody something that you didn't tell, not even your mother or your sister.
Well, that's why I brought up the fact that that one lady was found unalived in the motel room. The lady that was with him in the blue Pontiac.
Yeah. The girlfriend, the last girlfriend, Miss Small.
Yes, one of many.
So you think he told her?
He could have, and he could be the reason why she's...
Well, it's not foul play. So it's not foul play. We gotta remember, they're drug addicts, so they probably overdosed. She probably overdosed.
Well, I understand that, but, you know, it's just kind of convenient that she's not here to say anything.
Well, it's not. I don't find it convenient. They're addicts, Hagen. People overdose all the time. They're taking hard drugs. They're taking fentanyl, meth, crack, heroin. Come on. Seriously.
Well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is it would be a perfect scenario that he might have told her.
Well, but guess what? She can't talk now. How about that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, but listen, I believe if they said no foul play, I believe as soon as I heard she died in the hotel, that's the first thing I thought, because they're users. Everybody they hung around were users. They all were using the night they got the U-Haul. So it wouldn't shock me none she's found dead in a motel.
Well, my first question was, where was Adam when she was found?
Well, I don't know. Go ask him. Go write him. Go write. Tell her go write him a letter. Go write. Go send him a love letter. Were you in the room with her when she died? Oh my goodness, I can't.
I am not going to stick my fingers in all this and cause a mistrial.
97 people viewing this live stream. Take the poll. You ain't got but 22 votes up there. Come on, you guys, take the poll so I can read the results.
God forbid I get too nosy and cause a mistrial or...
Take the poll, Hagen. Hagen, take the poll, please. Did Adam tell someone else that he unalived Harmony? 23 votes so far. Almost 100 people watching. Take the poll, everybody. I've already asked this question on my channel. Feel free to go over there and check out the results over there. But since I've got at least 100 in the room, I decided to put the poll up again in this live stream. Thank you for watching this network.
Yes, we've been sharing, trying to get people to come.
Well, guess what? I'm at 13,000 subs now. Finally.
I know.
I had this many almost 2 years ago, but they unsubscribed because they get so disgusted with some whales. I thought, damn. But guess what? The video I did earlier, guess how many views I got on that a couple of hours ago? You won't believe it. 19,000.
Very nice.
It's very nice. That's the
It's
most.
time for you to blossom.
It is time, because I put in hard work when I bring information to this channel. I work my ass off. I do. So God has been good.
What you do, and you bring the straight what you got.
And I get and then I get testy too, don't I? Because lately you've been really just saying some stuff that I'm like, hey, what the hell is going on with you? Like that comment about taking the bag to the person and zipping it back up. You think I'm going to touch a damn bag that's got a dead baby in it? Hell no.
It's going to be funny because I spent the day on
Thank you, Greta.
that little...
I want you all to think about this. Sometimes I think Hagen is doing something while she's on the live stream on the other side of the phone. You just found a baby squished up in a bag as a job. Do you take the bag to the person you think it belongs to and ask, is this your bag? Matter of fact, before I get out of here, I'm getting ready to put that as a poll and see who answers the question. my God. Thank you, Boho. I'm not trying to laugh, but damn, Hagen, you say some crazy shit sometimes.
Well, sometimes we need a stress reliever.
Yeah, but not that.
No.
Oh, here you go. Adam, can I talk to you for just a second? Sure, what's up? I believe this belongs to you. The fuck?
Can you
Okay, I'm going to end this first poll. Oh, Lord. Let's see. We're going to put that question up there since you so kindly wanted everybody to know. Did Adam tell someone else that he unalived Harmony? 48% says yes, 37% no, 13% not sure, 37 votes. We're going to do one more poll, then I'm out of here. You know what? You need help. Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go. Get ready to put up the poll, everybody, because I want to see how many people answer this. You find a bag. Oh, my God. Bag at work. This is macabre what I'm doing right here. With a dead baby in it. This should be real interesting.
Now, see, if I didn't know what was in the bag, I might.
Don't try to change it. Don't try to change it up now. Nope. This is. Do you go to? Wait a minute. Hold on, you guys. Moving too fast. Yeah, I can't wait to see this. This should be good. All right. Should it be yes or no, or not sure as an option, or just yes or no?
Just yes or no.
Okay, here we go. Take the poll. 95 people watching. Yeah, Kung Fu, right. Hannibal Lecter. Over here. Clarice, have the lamb stopped crying yet? Damn, your ass. I'm trying to keep this live from being, comical because it is about a baby girl. But Hagen, that just threw me off when you said, "Oh, I'm gonna take him the bag." Huh? I'm not taking that bag nowhere. And that's something you all ain't thought about either. All the times they've touched that nasty bag with that dead baby in there.
And touching everything else. Oh.
Kissing, making love, getting high with a dead baby right there with you. Kissing, making love, getting high, eating food, eating pizza rolls with a dead baby in the house with you. In the ceiling vent. You can't make this up.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, that's why, they were even in closer quarters in the car.
Oh, my God. Shirley, stop it.
I'm glad that car stopped working.
Listen, Green Eye said, "Ooh, he made pizzas." Please stop.
Well, that's the other thing,
Don't say nothing. Look, I don't want you to get disrespectful. Don't say nothing. Because we are talking about a little girl. Don't say nothing.
No,
33 votes. Vote up. Vote up. I don't want to hear it. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. AKA Jenny says that's not just from drugs, that's demonic. Yeah. Because you're going, well, let me tell you all a story. This is a true story. A few years ago, a guy was speeding down Middlebrook Pike in Knoxville, Tennessee, here where I live. And he hit something. Okay? And what they find in the floorboard of the passenger seat was the head of a victim. Now, in first hearing this story, Many of us thought he hit the pedestrian and the pedestrian went through the glass
Okay.
of the windshield.
Uh-huh. That's not the case.
He stopped the car after hitting the person and put their head into the car. And he was inebriated, if I'm not mistaken. Inebriated, doped up, whatever. The point is, when you are under the influence, some, let's say all, possibly you don't know what the hell you're doing. And that's allegedly what happened in that incident. Perhaps he thought he was helping the person, doesn't remember putting a headless individual into the car. Oh, Lord have mercy. You find a bag at work with a dead baby inside. Do you go to the person you think it belongs to? 11% said yes. 89% says no. Somebody in the chat is saying, why don't you go to them? Because they killed somebody. That's why you don't go to them. Yvonne, you will go confront the person that you think the bag belongs to? You're supposed to be calling the damn police and telling everybody to get the hell out of there. Take the poll, everybody. 35 out of 108 viewing. Take the poll. Stardust says, and did not wash their hands. I can't. I would have been nosy, looked in the bag, freaked out, and called the popo. Yeah. Shirley says they was touching that bag with that dead baby in it and then holding and kissing and doing God only knows what. Exactly.
Yeah, because they were putting it in the stroller with the two babies, too. So they didn't care.
That's why Kayla has to take the fall, too, because what she was doing, as somebody in the chat says, is past just using drugs, inebriated, which we saw her mug shot. She looked doped up in that mug shot. She was much smaller. There comes a point when you have to say, I need help. I'm being abused. I have a drug problem. I have children. I'm not living my best life. He's now abusing this baby. And that's another question I wanted to ask, too. Well, I've asked it already. Do you believe Kayla was abusing the baby, too? But do you believe Kayla disliked the child? That's the next question. Because they ain't taking this poll I got them on. All these people watching this video and nobody wants to take the damn poll.
It's anonymous. Take it.
You find a bag at work. Do you go to the person that you think the bag belongs to? 88% said no, 11% yes. Next question. And then I'm out of here. I'm never going to get out of here. Whew. I don't even know how I sleep at night talking to you all. Oh, because I had a horrible dream the other night. Oh, my God. It was bad.
I don't sleep very well, but I'm always looking at missing.
Yeah, but gotta stop. But that's not good. But it's not good to go to sleep on this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. Watch it. I've been watching reality TV last night. I stayed up to the late morning watching LA Hair. I had never watched that TV show before.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. About a bunch of hyenas working in a high-end salon. Better than this true crime, because I've had enough of this. This stuff is just this just wears you down.
Tyler Perry has made a new TV show. It's out like on Roku.
Or should I say does or did? Did, since she's not living. Hold on. So what is it called?
I forget what it's called, but it's on Roku. It's Tyler. It's a TV show on Roku. It's by Tyler Perry made it.
Okay. Here we go. I've got the worst neighbors, always banging stuff around. Don't got nothing better to do. Go to bed like a normal person.
I live in the sticks. I don't have neighbors like that.
It's okay, because I'm trying my best to get the hell on. Did Kayla dislike Harmony? 87 people viewing, 13 votes. Come on, you guys, get those votes up.
The polls are anonymous unless you leave a comment. I don't even think Kayla liked herself, so.
Shirley says, what I can't understand is she saw Adam unalive the baby and she laid down with him and made another baby.
And kept her other two kids, and they were little at that time.
The poll is in the chat. 21 votes so far.
Because a normal person would have scooped up her kids and ran like the Dickens.
Y'all don't see you don't see the poll? Because I got it up here. Here, let me see. Yeah. It's not doing nothing. It still should be up there because I haven't ended it yet. Two people don't see it. Yeah, maybe they missed the poll. Well, it's got 22 votes. 95% of you believe Kayla did not like the baby. 4% no, 0% not sure. Jenny says she watched war documentaries. Girl, that's even worse. What? Oh, Jesus. I don't know why you can't see that poll. That's weird. Oh, it's 28 votes. So somebody's still taking the polls because it's going 28 votes now. Kayla must have a very dependent personality because she still loves him now. Well, she said he's the father of her children. Boho says Kayla only liked Adam. Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, she didn't like her kids herself.
Yeah, you can't say she liked her children because a lot of people, I told people about that favoritism. If you do it to one, you would do it to another. If he had an unalive, somebody said the other day, had he unalive one of the boys, she would have still done the same thing that she did with Harmony. Nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
She would have still rolled the ride, walked around with a dead boy child. She would have behaved the same way. Nothing would have changed because what's the difference between Harmony and those boys? I don't see a difference.
No.
Adam was what she cared the most about.
And if they were able to still be free, I believe
Hello,
they'd
Christy.
still be together.
Jenny says, I love history. Okay. Yeah, he's such a nice guy. Well, I'm going to end the poll now. 94% says yes, she didn't like the kid. Well, let me ask you this, Hagen, before I leave out of here. Do you believe she abused the little girl?
Yes.
Wow. Damn.
I believe she played a part in it.
I'm talking about abusing her while she was in her care.
Yes. Because there were times that she said that the baby would defecate or urinate on herself and she would not go clean her, or that she would throw food at her. You don't do that to a little.
What? Wait, slow down. She testified to that?
Yeah.
I need to go back because I didn't watch all the testimony. Because he testified for what, about 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, something like that, that first week.
Because they would ask, well, would you always take her to go clean her up? And she was like, no. And they were like, well, why wouldn't you? And she would say she was scared and stuff like that.
Why would you be scared if you see your husband? You see your husband's flipping out. You also got 2 little kids that can't use the bathroom for themselves. That makes no sense.
Yeah. And then they were asking about how many, like, a pair of leggings and underwear and all that they Harmony had, and she couldn't even answer that.
Okay.
I bet you she couldn't even answer what sizes that baby wore.
Wow.
Because if I buy kids clothes, I call the mom. I'm like, I buy all the kids pajamas for Christmas, so I call moms, and I'm like, what size are they in now?
Wow.
Moms know. The ones that care and take care of their kids, or at least try to.
Take the poll, and I'm out of here after this.
Yeah, because you probably haven't had dinner yet.
She didn't even wipe dry blood off her face. That's abuse. Well, Boho, that's what I was trying to figure out. If maybe this baby died before she said she did, because that comment about the dry blood kind of been bothering me since yesterday. Did Kayla abuse Harmony? Take the poll. 11 votes, 84 people viewing. Why not put diapers on her? Well, you got to spend money on diapers, Green-Eyed.
Because I thought the same thing. They could have put a pull-up on her.
Yeah. Well, that's money. They're not going to spend no money on pull-ups. That would be expensive, buying pull-ups for a 5-year-old. And more than likely, the girl was using the bathroom probably because she feared them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have been less mess.
Because I do believe that woman, when she said he told her he hated her, he probably did hate her, and that's why he was abusing her.
And then I would like to know, well, I'm never going to get this answer, but if she wasn't taking Harmony to the bathroom on a regular, then she was not changing the other kids, diapers, pull-ups, whatever they were in. So they had to have some heck of a bottom rash.
Stomach in her bowel. Hazel, what are you trying to say? She had stomach problems then? I thought about that briefly. Maybe the girl had bowel problems. You don't really know what was wrong with her. She's not eating. You just don't never know. Of course, I think you'd be more constipated from not eating, but you don't really know what they were doing to her. You don't know if she was sexually abused. You really just don't know. She had bags under her eyes. That's usually a sign probably of being malnourished.
Well, yeah,
and Tabitha,
it seemed like all they were feeding them was.
And Tabitha said she looked frail, but the social worker disputes that. I don't trust nothing he has to say, so he can go kick rocks.
No, because if you look at any of the pictures of Harmony that they show, she was like, her color was off, and she
rash around her mouth. She had impetigo, whatever. That comes from staph or strep. She wasn't being taken care of. And so the other kids might have had it too. So you don't know what was going on. The house was nasty, so it doesn't shock me that she would have some type of rash and breaking out. They were nasty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that Kayla described it, that half the time she didn't know what world she was in. So I'm assuming those other two aren't very well taken care of either.
Sawyer says, I'm so tired of people blaming stuff like this on drugs. I'm in recovery and have known a lot of addicts. Drugs only play a certain part. You have to be evil to do what they did, period. Yes, I agree with you, Sawyer. I'm not going to put it all off on drugs, but it played a role at some point. I'm not saying it's the whole role, but they were using and they just didn't care. And it's just sad that everybody in her life, Harmony's life, used drugs. It's just a very sad, pathetic tale. She had no one. Did Caleb use Harmony? Are you all done taking the poll? 93% says yes. 7% no. 0% not sure. Social worker inadequate, in my opinion. I agree.
Yeah.
Couldn't take care of themselves, for crying out loud, let alone babies. Well, that's the whole point, Carla. Even people who are not on drugs or alcohol, sometimes they can't take care of a child. And like I tell people, taking care of children is not an easy job. Some people say, well, it's not even a job and you should want to. Everybody's situation is not the same. Like I said, a lot of people I know weren't raised by their parents. So that's nothing new here. I'll say, at least here in the South. A lot of us were not raised by our parents. But the point is, once you realize it's not for you, then you need to take the necessary steps to do the right thing. That's that. Because the point is, you don't want a child with a person who is not feeling well, mentally well, They have mental issues, drug issues, or hell, they just don't give a fuck. They don't want to be a parent. So they don't need the kid. They don't need the kid. And you're seeing this more and more. The people who really don't want the kid, they're the ones that keep getting knocked up, which makes no damn sense. Why do you keep having babies and you know you don't want to be a mother? You know you're not doing a good job. You like with them, they're a prime example. They're using drugs, they're barely living, they're going place to place, and then you get knocked up again after killing a kid. Who does that? Many people. Many people.
Well, and then here's the other thing. You get these people that move state to state because in one state they may have taken your kids, but in another state you get to keep the kids.
Well, Sawyer says, obviously the drugs was, poor choice, but doing that to a baby and keeping their body for months is beyond a poor choice. Well, as I said, there have been lots of crazy, wicked things that people have done with dead people while doped up and not doped up. So everything's really about your interpretation. That might be the next question I put up. I'm never going to get out of here, y'all, if I keep coming up with questions from y'all comments. But I'm not even going to ask that question. Did drug play a role? Because he has an extensive violent background, Adam Montgomery. And I don't think it would have mattered if he got high or not. I still think the end result would have been the same. Because hate is hate. And if you hate somebody, that doesn't have anything to do with the drugs. I think he hated her because she was just like him. That's what I think. He hated Crystal because they were the same. And he couldn't accept the fact that he's made this baby. He's an addict. She's an addict. And then possible, like somebody said in the chat, also with her having the eye troubles, a disabled child, deemed disabled. He was offended. But I don't know how, because he wore glasses too. There's a picture of him with her on his Facebook account when she was just a little bitty something. He had on glasses. So, how are you going to judge a baby because she has glasses? This is crazy. Stardust. I've been on for 3 hours. I got to get off of here, honey. Mama says babies for benefits. Shirley says no female in Harmony Life knew how to be a loving, caring mother, and all of them should be fixed, and Adam should get snipped. Yeah, I will agree with that. And I've asked that question on my channel not too long ago. Should that be legal with people who have abused children, that they get their girly parts taken out and the guys get their little sacks snipped up? What do you think?
I'd say yes.
88%.
The thing is that going to stop them from being terrible people.
Well, you're going to be in prison, so it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
We're going to snip you and then we're going to throw you into jail. Carla says he obviously hated himself so much and he hated everyone in turn. Yes. Yes. I think he hated his ex because she rejected him. Well, Hazel, they both were users. So they weren't good for either one anyway. I think they were using when they met each other. Don't you find it strange she has two parents that use drugs? Because let's be truthful. What are the odds she has two parents who really didn't have a relationship and both are addicted to drugs? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, that might have been what drew them together in the first place to conceive Harmony. Oh, Brooke, you're so sweet. Bob it. Stardust. Stop it. He saw Harmony as an extension of her mama and not an extension of himself, in my opinion. Interesting. An extension of the mother. But AKA, Jenny, that makes no sense. He's a user. The mother's a user. What is it that he has bad to say about the mother? They didn't have a relationship. So what is it bad he could see about her that he wasn't doing? It makes no sense. Common denominator, yes. Trauma bond, yes, Carla. We learned about karma bond the other day from trauma bond, from Dr. Barry. She has a YouTube channel. I was watching her network the other day. She was talking about trauma bond. Something I had never heard of before. He
No, I
hated
think it's
Harmony
more than
because
that.
he hated Harmony because she looked like her mother. Well, let's just go here. She looked like her mother because that's her mom. They both use drugs. So I'm going to say it again. How are you hating somebody that you weren't even in a relationship with? They didn't really have no relationship. I don't think they did, because they asked her on the witness stand, did he live with you? Did you live with him? No, no, no. So he hates her because of what? How are you hating her? Because you didn't have to go get her. If that's the reason you feel bad, or you got mad and said, well, I'm going to go get this kid, but now I got her here. I don't really want her. It's too much. I'm trying to get high. I got these other 2 kids to take care of. Send her back. He cut her off after 10 months anyway. Remember? That's in the affidavit. He met with her, started visiting her for 5 months, and then he stopped seeing her. So he was doing the same thing Crystal was doing. They're evenly yoked. So I don't understand how he could not like Crystal. He and Crystal are the same. The only thing I haven't heard is if Crystal has an extensive criminal record. That's the only thing I haven't heard. Yeah, I saw he got it sold back on. Somebody said he wanted to check, but not the burden. Maybe. Narcissist thing, possibly. Bobby did a porn film years ago. It's the weirdest. I shouldn't be talking about this in the same live stream, but somebody, y'all sit there talking about Bobby, and anyway, he did a porn movie. After they sold that thing back on, good Lord.
Lord have mercy.
Did Adam pimp Kayla? Well, Green Eye, let the friend tell it. Miss what's her name? The one I just mentioned. I forget their names. One of the friends said in an affidavit, that's what he told her about Kayla. Kayla was trying to sell his body. He was geeked up one night, high on dope. She said he wasn't making any sense. And she said, well, hell, after he told me that, I thought maybe they sold the baby because I didn't see her anymore. Who knows? Who the hell knows? Maybe Crystal rejected him. Yeah, didn't somebody say that earlier in the chat? Rejected him, but how was she rejected him? I think she was not doing well herself when they met. Somebody says, I think it's a narc thing to do, but not 100%. Some people don't love their kids as if they are their own, and that's why. Yeah, but that was his kid. So what are you trying to say, Jenny? Oh, Shirley said Rebecca said that today. Oh, okay. Yeah, Rebecca said, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why he didn't like the kid. I don't know if it's because she was disabled, because the way her eyes were made. Some people are very vain, because Adam really isn't a bad looking guy at all, but he may have been a vain guy. He may have been an egotistical, narcissistic, sociopath, psychopath who was stuck on looks, and he saw what the little girl looked like, and maybe he just felt like, well, I'll just, as some of you say, take her to make money. But I don't feel anything for her towards her. You have people like that. They don't care for the children because of their hair texture, hair color, eye color, skin tone. We have that in the African-American race. A lot of Black people don't like their children because they're dark skinned, or they're not brown enough, light enough, or too light. Honey, I hear all type of shit. Why people don't like their own kids.
Or in the beginning, you could have took her for the money and then realized that she was more trouble than she was worth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I told myself, could it be that small, minute chance that Adam wanted to do right when he found out, Crystal couldn't get her back or didn't want her back. So he said, I'll go get my baby. But then once he got her, he realized it was too much work. Adding on a second, a third kid. He and Kayla still getting high. The high is more important. And then she was just a means to an end.
Yeah.
Could be. Carla says he never bonded with Harmony. Okay. Brooke says we'll never know why Also, the mother was a drug addict, so I can't believe what she said. She don't even know Harmony's birthstone while claiming she wears earrings with Harmony's birthstone. What do you mean, Brooke? Jen says babies are easier to control than a 5-year-old. Exactly. That's a very good point. True. That's why you hear people say, I like babies more. Because all babies do is cry, give them a bottle, they stop crying, change their diaper. That's the end of it. They sleep, up until about what, 6 months? You know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah.
no, they sleep longer as they get older. Excuse me. They sleep every few hours when they first get here. But as they get older, they sleep longer. So it is easier until they start crawling around getting into stuff.
Well, they were fixing to hit that because the one was almost 2.
Jenny says humans normally naturally love and protect their children. When if that bond isn't there from birth, it's easy for parents to hurt them. Possibly, yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Jenny. Anytime. See you later, sweetheart. Thank you for the super chat. Or if there's a never bond formed. Exactly. So that's why I said, I don't know the reason why he took the child in or why he started to abuse her. I do believe it was, shortly after he got her, he started abusing her, which will make me wonder if it just, he did it for just to get check, stamps, whatever, so they could hustle. But he should have sent her back. But he didn't.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Hindsight is 20/20. He knew what he was doing was wrong, no matter what his reasons were for mistreating the little girl. And I do believe they would have done it to the other children because they were babies too, and they weren't potty trained. It was only a matter of time. They're boo-booing and peeing on themselves. They're sitting there letting the diapers get soiled because they're addicts. And there's no way you're going to make me think they would have been changing diapers on 2 little ones and they're trying to get high. Hell no. Hell no.
I say they had to have a heck of some diaper rash going on.
Exactly. Harmony was born June 7th. My birthday's June 2nd. My birthstone isn't pink. They're all liars. Oh, wow, Brooke. Damn, that's deep. Yeah. What month is June, the birthstone? I forgot. It's not green, is it? Because I know my grandmother was born in June, and she loved the color green. It's not emerald, is it? What is it? Adam's father passed away this weekend. He overdosed. Wow, I hadn't heard that. Okay.
Well, I heard he passed away. I just didn't know what. And I was like,
okay.
Did he happen to do it himself?
Hazel said, I don't think so, Queen. He got custody just to win a battle with his ex. But what's the battle? The baby was going back and forth between the state and the foster lady and her. They really didn't have no relationship. That's why none of this makes any sense. Oh, Emerald's May. Okay. I knew it was one of those months. It was May. Hippie says Pearl, I think. I'm not sure. April's diamond.
I still don't understand how Adam even got her, though.
Because it was like a quick sale. He showed up at court. They didn't run the background on him. And they just gave it. Boom. Court's over.
Well, hopefully they feel pretty stupid now.
But see, let's think about that for just a second. This is what's the problem in every situation pertaining to these children. You go back later to say what? What can you say right now that's beneficial to what happened to Harmony Montgomery? Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, I'm going to do better. We're going to change our policies. We're going to get more investigators on the case. We're going to coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's too late. And sadly, it's Harmony today. It's that little Vaughn boy one day. It's this kid this day. It's the Wales girl. Damn. Get it together. Just get it together. Sorry says he definitely kept it for the money. Okay.
I know, and it really aggravates me because I'm sitting there going, yes, my daughter turned 18
He's going to testify.
February.
Yeah, I read about the SOARs in the affidavit last night, police report last night. I read the police report and stuff last night. Yeah, she had impetigo or whatever that's called. If they didn't clean and was not feeding their kids, Harmony was eating rotten food off a dirty floor. Well, that infection comes from staph and infection in the body. Also, it can come from, I Googled it last night. If you've got a cut And then, germs, bacteria gets in the cut. It will cause the sores. So it said it's very common in children, because I read that last night. The other kids might have had it too. Excuse me. And then we don't even know where she got it from. But if the house wasn't clean, then common sense will tell you that's probably how she got it. The house wasn't clean.
Oh, here's an even simpler way. They were sitting in their own waste. All the kids were in the car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that don't shock me. That's why I said it would have happened to the boys too, because I'm not going to sit here and believe, oh, I care more about my boys. I'm going to go change their diaper and keep them clean. And we're sleeping in a car. And then we found out the house wasn't clean when you weren't sleeping in a car. So that's probably how she got the sores around her mouth. Those boys probably had sores, diaper rash. You want me to believe that doctor pulled the diapers off those kids, those boys? You know he didn't. Now, he says, oh, they were clean. They look healthy. But then that other girl, Tabitha, says, that's what I was looking for, Tabitha. She says that she looked frail to her. So I don't believe the social worker.
No. And I wouldn't put it.
Oh, Shirley, please stop.
The false report thing where he didn't visit like he said he did, and just.
Mosquito bites. Yeah, I think I read that too. Hazel says, do you have health visitors in America? In the UK, we have health visitors who check on children until they're 5. I'm not saying that stops the abuse and neglect, but it helps. Well, no, Hazel, we don't. We only have people intervene, social workers, when there's a call or a report of child abuse and neglect. And then the worker comes out to investigate.
I mean, unless you're a vigilant mom that takes their kids to the doctor on a regular.
Sawyer, they had her from February 19th to December of 19, allegedly. Shirley, I don't want to look at no more depressing stories. I can't take it. I can't. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go 3 hours and 31 minutes. Thank you, Hagen. I'll be back later tomorrow because court resumes. So I need to get ready for that tomorrow, see what transpires with court, and see if the defense will bring evidence for Adam Montgomery tomorrow. So if you all are interested, you're able to watch part of it tomorrow. It resumes, and we will see if they bring forward evidence or they decide to rest themselves. We'll see. All right, Suki, be careful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You too, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That's one of the fans, Hagen. I'll be back tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the next day, whichever, or in the evening to bring you the update from trial tomorrow. Harmony didn't make it to November. Well, she probably didn't, Shirley, and that's the gist of the story. We're never going to know because, as Hagen said, the fact that the rollover time and security cameras, nobody reported her missing from Adam's family, there could have been evidence to show when she was last alive. But because it was only 2 years or so later, same month, matter of fact, 2 years later, all that camera work from doorbell cameras, restaurants, Burger King, that information is gone. So somebody could have probably brought forward information. Oh, yeah, we saw the car. We saw the car here. We saw the kids getting out. We saw a kid walking here. Oh, only saw 2 kids. We ain't got nothing. Yeah, not even a whole year. No, not a whole year. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining us, 9 Lives. Thank you all for joining. I don't know what you got going on, but it ain't going on here. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $sign McGangie 129 Cash App, stickers and chats. Always welcome to the live stream. Thank you for your wonderful, wonderful comments and commentary. I've enjoyed this live thoroughly. Hopefully it's been helpful to somebody out there that is going through this with their child, children, grandchildren. Hoping this information is helpful. And if you see some type of abuse with children, I mean, direct abuse. Let me make that clear. Directly. They're not eating. They're hungry. Lice. Somebody's beating them. Call the police. Bypass DHS. That's the message I've been sending to people for the past couple of years. No more making reports. just call the police, because the police will get the work done quicker if you call the police and they then go to the house. Somebody's got to open that door. You got to let them in. Okay? Call the police. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. God bless all of you. Thank you for joining me. Take the polls on my page. Movie of the week, Karen. 2-year-old movie, 3-year-old movie. They came out in 2021. Sorry, it's 3 years old. Free on the All Black channel. And also you could buy it in the YouTube queue if you want to purchase it or rent it. It's in the YouTube queue as well and on Roku. Thank you for joining me. God bless all of you. Sweet dreams to you too, honey. You listening to the Vault Excel. Talk to you guys later. Thank you so much. And thank you for the new subscribers. 13,000 plus. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the views on the last upload. God, I appreciate it. Thank you. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Thanks. Thank you, hon. Thank you, Stardust. Thank you.